You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, still listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And we are live. It is World Series Game 1. It's your boy BC Beastie, Brandon Combs. Man, am I freaking pumped for this game. I am pumped for the World Series. Even though we have to watch the stinking Astros take on the Atlanta Braves, it's still going to be a fun World Series. There's still lots of things to talk about. I'm a little disappointed that Ronald Acuna is not in the game, in the series. It's a little bit of a bummer. He would have been a great addition to this World Series, something that everybody could have seen on display. But he is not. Supas is going to join me here in just a little bit. He is running a little bit late. Had to do his fatherly duties, drop the kids off after their practice. But that's neither here nor there. I am going to take you right all the way up to first pitch. First, I'm going to give you the lineups for the visiting Atlanta Braves. Leading off, surprisingly, the DH is Jorge Soler. Batting second, first baseman Freddie Freeman. Batting third is second baseman Ozzie Albies. I think that guy is going to shine in this World Series, by the way. Batting cleanup for the Braves is Austin Riley, followed by Eddie Rosario in left field, Adam Duvall in center field, Travis d'Arnaud behind the plate, my boy Jock Peterson, Jocktober, baby. He is batting eighth, and Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, will be batting ninth. For the Houston cheating Astros, we have leading off is Jose Altuve at second, Michael Brantley in left field, Alex Bregman at third base, Yordan Alvarez is the DH batting cleanup, Carlos Correa bats fifth at short, then you've got Kyle Tucker in right field, followed by Yuli Gurriel at first base, then you've got Christian McCormick in center field, and Martin Maldonado behind the dish. Those are your lineups. Guys, I am excited. Liz, yes, I have to wear the shirt. I have to wear the hat as well. We've got the World Series patch on the hat. Look, you got to represent your teams even when your teams aren't in it. I didn't have a Braves jersey that I could wear. And I wasn't going to go with the Astros jersey that I own, even though it is a throwback Nolan Ryan. It's a pretty cool jersey. But yeah, so I went with the throwback Ryan Sandberg jersey for the show. So, I heard a rumor, Liz, that you're going to be wearing a jersey tomorrow at the shop. I don't know what that's all about, but it's just a rumor. So, at any rate, we've got World Series Game 1 coming up. Supas will be joining me. We have a ton of giveaways tonight. I've got autographed memorabilia to give out. There is probably about 5 or 6 pieces of autographed memorabilia that will be given away. We are going to do some trivia. There'll be some man-hour trivia in there. There'll be some sports trivia in there. There'll be all sorts of stuff going on tonight. We're going to have a great time, man. Look, I don't know about you guys, but to me, the Braves are the favorite in this World Series. I don't see any way they can't be the favorites in this World Series. They've got a better pitching staff all the way around. And their lineup is just as good, if not maybe even a little bit better than the Houston Astros. I think it's a little bit more consistent than the Houston Astros. So for me, the Atlanta Braves are the favorite. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Who are you guys picking to win this World Series? How many games is it going to go down in? What do we have in store for us? Who's going to win game 1? Is it going to be the Houston Astros at home? Are the Atlanta Braves going to steal one? Are the Atlanta Braves going to steal 2 in Houston? I think that they're going to split, and then the Braves will win 2 out of 3 in Atlanta. Houston win game 6, and the Atlanta Braves win game 7. It's the way I think it's going to go down. This series has to be destined to go 7, right? This series is so evenly matched. It is unbelievable. But we are going to take a quick short break before the game starts. We will be right back, and we will have first pitch coming to you. Give us 30 seconds. And we are back. 30 seconds is not a whole lot of time, I guess. Thought I had a little bit more time than that. But we are back. All right, guys. I've teased some memorabilia giveaway. Well, why don't we just get it going right out of the gate? We've got some watchers going on right now. I see the views are going up. Who is ready to win some gear? The first thing we are going to give away is going to be some Beastie merchandise. We got a Beastie t-shirt to give away. So we are going to do some man-hour trivia here. And here is the trivia question. We all know that Wyatt is a diehard Packers fan. Everybody knows it. He's always got the Packers gear sitting in the back. So, ask you guys this. What is Wyatt's favorite baseball team? If you tell me Wyatt's favorite baseball team, you will win a Beastie t-shirt. First person in the comments to tell me Wyatt's favorite baseball team is the winner. That's how it goes. You got to be first. Who is Wyatt's favorite baseball team will win the Beastie t-shirt. Let's see what we get for answers. Let's see who really watches the show. Somebody's got to know the answer. Meanwhile, they are still on commercials, still waiting for first pitch. It is supposed to happen any second now. It was scheduled for 7:09. And we have a winner. Drew is correct. Wyatt is a Green Bay Packers fan. We do not agree on football, but we do agree on baseball. And so with the winning answer, Drew, hit me up in a PM. Let me know what size shirt and which Beastie t-shirt you would want too. There's a couple of them out there. Let me know which one you want. Let me know what size. PM me. Hit me up. Let me know. I promise you the questions for the gear, the memorabilia, is going to be a lot tougher than what we've got. But we are getting ready for first pitch here. I see Drew says, go Braves. Braves, how many games you got, Drew? If you got the Braves, how many games do you got? I know Liz is in the chat. I see Michelle's in the chat. Michelle gives me a hashtag Beastie. So you couldn't fit into your Dale Murphy jersey. My Dale Murphy jersey is autographed, sir. So I'm not going to wear it. And that might be part of the giveaway tonight. Not going to give out any surprises, but that could be one of the prizes given away tonight. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Drew has the Braves in 6. As right now, Framber Valdez is on the mound, taking his warm-up pitches. We are just moments away from first pitch of game 1. I am just moments away from being joined by Soup Boss at some point. This solo show stuff is hard, guys. I don't like it. I feel like I'm talking to myself, waiting for comments to show up so I could bring them up. Then nobody comments. But game one is about to start. Jorge Soler will be leading off for the Atlanta Braves. Framber Valdez is the game one starter for the Houston Astros. Soler, Freeman, and Albies will be the first three up for the Atlanta Braves. Guys, I'm interested to see how the calls are behind the plate. It's been a really bad playoffs. It's been an atrocious playoffs behind the plate for the umps. And I really hope that's not the case in the World Series. I really hope that they tighten it up. I'm not, I'm looking at you got Chris Conroy behind home plate. He had a pretty good NLCS. So maybe he will have a good first game one of the World Series. So we're about to get underway. Jorge Soler is at the dish. And here we go. As Michelle says, at least you look good, Beastie. Well, thank you. Usually when it's coming from your girlfriend, you feel like she has to say it. But I guess maybe she doesn't. She could make fun of me. She usually does. And the first pitch of the World Series is ball one to Jorge Soler. Framber Valdez delivers pitch number 2, ball 2, 2-0 to Jorge Soler. Valdez has had a really good season this year. He has been the biggest bright spot for the Astros rotation. An Astros rotation that, quite honestly, I did not think was going to be that good this year. And Jorge Soler, as I say that, takes a 2-0 pitch and hits a bomb over the left field wall. 1-0 Braves, and that's how this starts out. We get our first home run of the series as Jorge Soler goes deep, and I am 1 home run away from hitting my over that I picked, which was over 1.5. Holy moly. Jorge Soler. Gotta hold it. That's the one thing this kid can do, man. He's going to strike out a lot. I mean, a lot. But he can really put a charge into a ball. When he gets a hold of one, man, it goes a long way. It is a glorified wiffle ball stadium in Houston, but I think that one wouldn't have been held by any stadium in the league. I think that one gets out of every stadium in the league. That was a shot. One of the things I am rooting for in this World Series, and I was talking about it today with Liz at work, was I hope that Freddie Freeman beat that out. He called him out, but I think Freddie Freeman beat that out as he hit a slow dribbler to second base. He looks safe to me. You're going to have to see the replay, see if I'm right. Live view, I thought he was safe as we're watching the replay. But anyway, I was hoping that the Astros, that's close. They're not going to challenge it, but just got him. Less than a half a step. Wow. Good call by the ump. I was way wrong. But at any rate, I'm hoping for the Astros to hit back-to-back home runs for this reason and this reason only. I hope the first guy hits a home run, and then that train conductor drives the train across the field in Houston. And then the second shot gets hit so hard that it hits the train tracks and hits the guy after he gets off the train to do his little choo-choo salute that he likes to do after the Astros hit a home run. I think that would be the greatest moment of the World Series. I really do. I think that would be amazing. Ozzie Albies now with a 2-0 count as Framber Valdez looks to deliver the third pitch of the at-bat. He is not looking sharp so far. Freeman hit that slow roller. Now Albies hits a slow roller, but Albies beats it out at first. So we'll have a runner at first with 1 out. And I believe that will bring up Austin Riley, if I'm not mistaken. Got to remember what that will bring up Austin Riley. God, this Austin Riley kid has been really, really good in the playoffs. he has been good all season long, but in the playoffs, he has really been there. If they need a big hit, he's right there, and that's huge. He was 7 for 22 in the NLCS. He had 7 RBIs in the NLCS as well. I mean, that's good. And he wasn't even the MVP. That was Eddie Rosario. So that's something. As Liz says, home run already. Yes, ma'am. There has been a home run already. My boy Jorge Soler, former Cub. We traded Jorge Soler for Wade Davis. That was something. That guy did not pan out for the Cubs. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at manhour_Combs. It's at manhour_Combs, which shows up at manhour_C on Streamlabs for some reason. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. I'm not extremely active on Twitter, but I do get on there on occasion. As Ozzie Albies steals second, a 3-0 count. Framber Valdez does not look sharp in this first inning. Oh, look who's here. We are joined by the Soup Boss. What is going on, Soup?
I'm running crazy right now. I feel like I just sat down like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get the game on and everything. I should have actually probably come in so you guys aren't looking at me get on my phone and stuff like that. So.
I got home about 6:45 from work. Jeez. Austin Riley in the gap. Ozzie Albies is going to score easily. 2-0 Braves already. I know you haven't seen it yet, but Jorge Soler led the game off, Soup Boss, with a home run. A blast that would have been out of any stadium in the league, but went right over that short wall and left. Then Freeman almost beat out a slow roller, out by less than half a step. Then Albies beat out a slow roller on a 3-0 count. And then he just went 3-0 to Austin Riley, who put one in the gap. He's getting himself into a lot of trouble.
Getting himself in a lot of trouble. In any team, you sit there and you give any good team, I don't care who they are, at what record, if you get into the playoffs, you give any of those batters that type of count, it doesn't matter. You're just asking for them to just eat you alive. He's got to get in front of those counts if he wants to escape this first inning, which who knows now, up 2-0. I don't know how many outs there are right now. Is there 2 outs? One out. One out. Man on second, 2-0. Yep. Man, if you got to think Dusty isn't going to play around. If he lets another run or two come across the board, if there's a 2-run home run right now, he's done. He pitches 1/3 of an inning.
There's my question. Do you give up game one and really tax your bullpen, or do you let him get beat up for a couple of innings and just say, hey, either our offense is going to come back and score some runs too, or you're going to get beat up for a little bit because we're not going to go into our bullpen in the first inning of game one?
Well, your real hope is that he can get in out of this, top of the first, so that your offense can come out there in the bottom of the first, and let's see what happens. As a Sox fan, I can't tell you how many times I've sat there and watched one of the pitchers give up like 2 runs, 3 runs in the top of the first, and you're like, what the heck? And then the offense comes out and scores like 2 runs. It's like, okay, now you're only talking about a 1-run game. The pitching aspect kind of evens out a little bit. And this is also game 1 of the World Series. It's the nerves are up. I don't care how good of experience you have in terms of previous World Series or anything. It doesn't matter if you've been here 10 times, first time, the nerves are through the roof right now, right? So you hope the offense can come out. Now, if the offense comes out in the bottom of the first and they just the side gets struck out and he comes back in the top of the second and gives up just another quick hit, you got to pull him. I think you got to. I know you've got the home field advantage, but you can't let it just go away. You got to fight for it. It's not a given that it's an automatic advantage.
And the pitcher coach came out and talked to him, and now he's got Eddie Rosario in an 0-2 count really quickly. Rosario checks the swing there, so now it's 1-2. But ask the San Francisco Giants if he went.
Where's it? Yeah. I was going to say, where the heck was this crap game 6 against the Red Sox? Where was this crappy pitching?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I mean, the Sox didn't help themselves either. They were swinging at junk. You could just
I
tell
would
they were so
scored 3
nervous.
runs after game 3.
Yeah. 3 runs
Yeah.
after game 3. What's his
Drew
face
says,
out
did I
hit
miss
them?
anything important? Yes, you missed a leadoff home run by Jorge Soler. You missed
Strike
a
3.
double by Austin Riley, who gave them the 2-0 lead. Now, as Eddie Rosario strikes out swinging,
Great pitch
there's
by
2
him.
outs and there's still a runner on second, so they still got a runner in scoring position. For
Great
the Braves,
pitch
it'd be
right
nice
there.
to push him around. That is a great pitch.
That's a great pitch because, the one he had him chasing. Now, you already had him chasing, but what I love about that is you watch that as it got into the hitter's eye, it was still technically in the strike zone. That's what you need to do. You don't just keep throwing it way off. He had to be able to get just enough in the batter's eye, and it hung right there and then just broke like crazy. So, yeah, he already had him chasing, but that was a dang good pitch.
And now you got Adam Duvall at the plate, and you can't fall behind as he does 1-0 on the first pitch. You fall behind on this guy. This guy can light you
He'll
up
kill you.
quick.
Yep.
He 38 home runs in the regular season. He was a steady force for them throughout the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Adam Duvall will crush you if you have to put something in the zone and he knows it, you're in trouble. Drew says, I'm watching the game and listening to you guys. That's the way to do it. You don't
do it, baby.
Nobody wants to hear freaking Joe Buck.
Joe Buck.
Nobody wants to listen to him for 7 games.
Did you see what I put on Sports Soup about an hour ago? He made a quote about how one time he was calling a TD pass and he had to take a leak inside of a jug. And I was like, I'd rather hear the piss hit the jug than hear Joe Buck's commentary on that TD pass. So,
and Valdez misses on game 2 or on pitch number 2, and he didn't like that call. He's not going to get any favors from the ump reacting the way that he did as he stares at him and shakes his head. But
that's a big thing when it comes to. And like I'm no major league player, but since I was like 5-6 years old, I've been playing baseball, catcher, played at a whole bunch of different levels and everything like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you got to tell your pitcher, like, listen, like, okay, it's not a good call. Let me do that. That catcher needs to do that. Let me argue with the ump because I've got the relationship. It's going to hurt you by fighting. Calm down, take a breath, chill, because then they're going to go up there gripping that ball tighter and it's going to, hard skip on the ground or you miss the spot completely. And like you said, Duvall is going to – you miss the spot by an inch on Duvall, he's going to put this thing over the wall.
Yeah, and you're going to fall down 4-0 relatively quickly here.
Great pitch.
In game 1. That was a beautiful pitch.
Great pitch.
A slider in the dirt, and Duvall just went swinging.
Did you see where it was, though, when it was right before the break?
Oh, yeah.
That was beautiful. That was 2/3 of the way up the strike zone. That just literally – Duvall was thinking, I'm putting this thing out of this hole.
For those of you that haven't watched Valdez pitch all year, he's got one of those – I call them golf ball breaking balls because it's on the green and then all of a sudden it's in the hole.
Yep.
Because you just lose it. It drops.
It's like a 12-6, 11-5, like just dropped. It almost reminds me of the Barry Zito curveball. Remember that was nasty.
Kerry Wood.
Oh, here we go.
The one Duvall hits one deep
right field,
deep to right. Oh, and it's caught on the warning track. Oh, he got into that one.
He got into it, but I think that's if you were going to want anything to get Duvall out, that's what you want to do. So you gotta look at it as bad first inning, a lot of nerves, but 1 out, man on second, 2 runs already in. That's some good recovery by him there. Now what they need to do, get into that dugout, let the catcher, let the pitching coaches just talk him through, take a breath. You could tell he was walking off he was walking off the field there and he's like holding his breath. Like he's disappointed, but he's like holding his breath. Breathe. Relax. Aggravated. You went out there, you start throwing some nasty stuff. You're going to be fine. Let your offense now go do what they're known to do. They'll go get a couple big hits. You got to just go back out and do what you can do. So they'll be good.
Yeah.
They'll do all right.
Drew says Soler is a beast. The Royals never should have traded him. Soler is like he is pretty much a less known version of Giancarlo Stanton. He hits the ball a country mile when he makes contact, but when he doesn't, he strikes out about 300 times a year.
Yeah. Thank you. I was about to add that. I'm like, don't forget the strikeout part of the Stanton thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And but you know what? That is the new era of baseball.
Well,
Is it
that's the
not?
world we live in. That's the world we live in. We're taught. Well, think about it. And I'm just thinking of it right now, trying to get some different sports mix just in case. Even though the baseball games what we're focusing on, we're talking about basketball, where it's the norm now to just everyone shoots the 3-pointer. Like that's the way the game has made it has formed into. And for baseball, it's the same way. Chicks dig the long ball. We saw Glavine and Maddox do that commercial. But then you had guys like McGuire and Sosa and Bonds crank it. That was where there was the most excitement. And the kids of that day that are now in the league today, that's what they watch. That's what they grew up with. Of course, that's what they're going to do. That's what it's all about. Home run derby. You want to be the champ at that. And, in the NBA, it's either you shoot a 3-pointer or it's a monster dunk. And those are the big things. You don't see mid-range stuff. So same thing. You don't see the Tony Gwynns anymore. There's nothing flashy about Tony Gwynn. No one outside of baseball nuts like you and me will sit here today and still talk about how Tony Gwynn next to Ted Williams might have been the greatest hitter in all of baseball, but no one gives two craps. You know what people care about? How many times Barry Bonds put a ball into McCovey Cove.
Dude, do you know what do you play MLB The Show?
No.
Tony Gwynn's rating on MLB The Show
It
is
should be
78.
That's ridiculous. Why? Because
78
for his fielding?
I have no idea, but I had it. So I play the battle royale mode where you gotta you go as a double elimination online thing, and you do a fantasy draft, and they give you different players to pick from each round. And they had Tony Gwynn on there. It was a 78. Tony Gwynn wasn't even a 78 when he was a rookie.
Now think, and here's the facts about that. The people making those video games are the kids that grew up watching the home runs and everything like that. That, like I said, there's no appreciation unless you have a baseball enthusiast, a historian working on that game. Which that's not the point. Their point is to sell video games. How you sell video games? Big explosive graphics and plays, and so. You're not good enough if you were going up there and putting the ball on the ground and never striking out. It's ridiculous.
We're back in the bottom of the first. Charlie Morton on the mound. 0-1 count to Jose Altuve. It took a wild hack at first pitch.
And second pitch.
And second pitch. He always takes that swing. Like everything he swings. Maybe it's because he's so tiny, it looks like he has to swing hard. But everything he swings at looks like he's trying to hit it 900 miles.
No, I watched a thing about the swing patterns of certain players, and Altuve was on one of those. And that big swooping lumberjack swing is for a reason because of the fact of his body height and everything like that. Being able to get the barrel on the bat, it just is so much more important for a guy of his size. And even though he's not like a weak guy at that size, how much physical force do you have? So it's actually a strategic element. That's why people say he can pull it fast, but get that ball on his hands because he's going to want a great pitch right like that.
And
great
strikeout looking on 1 and 2. That was a beautiful
right on his hands.
Ball. Oh my God.
Either he's going to not be able to hit that ball,
or it started above his head,
or he's going to watch it and just watch it go in because his mind is thinking, I got to take that big swooping lumberjack pitch, and he can't. Look at that. I love that view. I love kind of it's like watching with football videos on like TikTok and stuff. The pitches. I just love that stuff.
You ever so what was it on TBS during I believe it was the NLCS or NLDS, one of the two.
Big hack, base hit.
Michael Brantley gets on.
Now I'll tell you this: with even though he got him striking out the first batter, those first 2 hacks showed me something there. That the same thing, some nerves. World Series, Game 1.
Yeah,
more input, 2 pitches. That if Altuve wasn't so amped up and swinging so fast, he could have put that thing over the wall.
And not only that, it seems like they're going to be swinging early and often on Charlie Morton. This is going to be the approach here. And
that's why I was saying let your offense go out there, let the kid hang through the first inning for the Astros, and don't just don't quit on him just yet.
And now you've got a runner on base for Bregman, Alvarez, and Correa to try to tie this game up with one swing of the bat. Let's see what Bregman does here on the first pitch.
Nope, watching it.
Ugh.
And that was a good pitch. If you're Morton right there,
Yeah.
Altuve goes up there and swings at the first 2 pitches. You had the next batter come up and lace that into right field.
Yeah.
Put something out of the strike zone. See if they chase, because that tells him no matter what, they're going to be swinging. So if anything, Bregman probably helped the Astros lineup by not swinging at that pitch.
Now we got a 1-0 count here. Morton looking
Great
in.
Pitch. Great
Whoa,
pitch. Great
get
pitch.
that call, Blue.
Nah, I agree. That's a ball, but it's a great pitch. He needs to set
strike
that
in
up.
the K zone.
He needs to set that pitch up for the rest of the game, and really allow that to get him some ground ball outs the rest of the game.
So
Bregman just looks like he's so pumped up. Yeah, 3-0 count.
Ball 3. I've been talking a lot about, and I was talking about it before you got on too, about how bad the strike zones have been throughout the entire playoffs. And you know me, I'm a big proponent of the automated strike zone. I talk about it all the time, and never more so than after these playoffs, because it's been really bad all playoff long. As you get strike 1 there, 3-1 count on Bregman. As Bregman looks like it wasn't a strike, but that was right on the corner.
Yeah, it was right on the border. Good call.
Where do you stand on automated strike zones?
Oh, it's time we need it. It's time we need it. And the argument why we don't need it outside of the baseball historians, like it takes away from the game. Yeah. A lot of people try to come with the argument, and on Sports Soup, a couple people said that, which is,
strike 2,
3-1 count. Oh, he should have break. That's a pitch for Bregman right there. Yeah. You're giving Morton now some confidence. But anyways,
he wants that one back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he should have been. Look at where this pitch goes. Just drops right in the zone, right in the chest of the.
That's a gutsy pitch, 3-1 too. That's a very gutsy pitch, 3-1.
Yeah, I'm shocked with that. And now let's see what he does before I answer your question here. Goes up swinging.
When a 3-1 pitch fouls it away.
But a little late though, and they had the runner going. A little runner going, but with the strike zone aspect, people are questioning whether or not it takes away the value of the catcher. It doesn't take away the value of the catcher. I played catcher my whole life.
No, not at all.
Framing the pitch, yes, is an art.
It's a lost art, though.
It's really a lost art that doesn't matter anymore, because even when you frame it right, you're not always getting the right calls anyways. Yeah. And in fact, I've seen guys frame pitches that should be strikes anyways, and then they get batter running. Not batter running.
Ground ball.
Base runner running.
Yeah, ground ball the first. Throws over to the pitcher, gets the out. Now you got Yordan Alvarez coming up.
Jeez,
speaking of guys that can just crush a ball, Yordan Alvarez is a beast.
This guy out-hit the Boston Red Sox alone in the last 3 games of the ALCS. That just tells you, like, they could – and in all of his hits, too, I was watching the thing online. They weren't all the same pitch. In fact, every single one of his hits were almost completely different pitch types and in different locations, which just tells you he's seeing a freaking wiffle ball or like a beach ball right now when it comes to that baseball coming in. He's got laser eyes on it, and every time he makes contact, he's hitting that thing like a missile. So
yeah,
this is a huge at bat right here. 2 outs, runner on second. And of course,
it's huge for Charlie Morton.
So
if he can get out of this, if he can get out of this without giving up a run, that's going to be huge for his confidence going forward. It is almost crucial, and it's only the first inning, but this is almost a crucial run for the Astros to get right here.
Ball outside. Yeah, by the way, for all of our fans, I live in Oklahoma. I also live in a town where for some reason the power grid is a piece of garbage. And so Sunday had no power, went out 4 times. Now we've got severe thunder showers coming through the western part of Oklahoma. Yeah. So flashing across my screen. So if all of a sudden my screen just goes blank, support Combs, stick with him here and keep listening, because it just means that my garbage power grid is going to go out.
And stay tuned, because we do, after this half inning, we are going to have a sports memorabilia giveaway. I've got a few things I would be giving away tonight, so stay tuned. There is going to be trivia involved in it. We already gave away a Beastie t-shirt to Drew. Drew won the Beastie t-shirt. You got to try doing this without using Google too. I mean, and I think after you win 2 prizes, we might cancel you out. I feel like Drew's gonna win a few of these.
I might shoot the link over back on Soup. Say, come win some prizes here.
There you
go. So 3 pitches these pitches have not been horrible by Morton. 2 right on the outside, 1 up and away, but with good speed. Those are the pitches that Alvarez in the ALCS was taking in just absolutely raking opposite field. So
and this
I'm
is where
very
it's,
interested
to
to see what's going to happen here.
This is where, to me, it's old school mentality, because a lot of people ask why Correa bats so far down in the lineup and why he's not your 2-hole or your 3-hole hitter. This is why, because if you pitch around Yordan Alvarez, you got to deal with Carlos Correa. And
do you see how bad the spot on that? Now he got a strike.
And he still got
but that
call.
pitcher wasn't even close to that. Morton is some nerves here. He's missing his spots.
Yeah,
he's got to be
he's
careful.
missing up, so that's usually a sign of a lot of energy.
Huge pitch, 3-1. Ball 4, and completely missed his spot again. Catcher wanted it high and away, and he threw it down and in. Almost hit him in the legs. So
just gripping it a little bit too tight. And now you got Carlos Correa coming to the dish with 2 outs, runners on first and second. I'm still saying that this is a huge spot for the Houston Astros, because if Morton can get out of this, especially if he can get out of it early in the count, that's going to be a lot bigger for Charlie Morton than it is for the Houston Astros. So, but like I was saying, we've got some stuff to give away. I've got a couple of autographed baseball bats, a couple of autographed jerseys I'll be giving away here live on the telecast tonight. So stay with us. Do not go anywhere.
Correa will swing first pitch. Nope.
And he takes strike 1.
He saw that pitch coming. He thought that was going to come to him. I felt that Correa was going to go up there and try to lay something early. They started attacking him early like that.
And this could be where it happens. I've wanted to see it for a long time now, but I really want to see a back-to-back shot here for the Astros. But this is why. This is how it has to happen if it's going to happen. I want to see the train driver come out, drive the train for the first home run. And as he gets out to do the choo-choo that he always does after the home runs, there's strike 2. I want to see that second one shot go straight up to the train tracks and bonk him off the head and have him fall off the tracks. and that's the only way I want to see it happen. I think that would be the best thing about the World Series.
Big call there by Blue with that strike, because the one that you said earlier that should have been called a strike, it was a breaking ball. That one having a little bit more mustard on it. You see, it was the exact same spot, and that one got the strike call. So it's going to be, I think the speed is going to help him when he needs to get that call. Ooh, good pitch. Good cut by Correa.
That's the same pitch 3 straight times. You better mix it up coming against Correa, because if you go to the well one too many times with Correa, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, the next time you throw something like that, that thing's getting parked right up on that train.
Yep. You're still ahead 0-2, man. It's okay to waste one high and away with a fastball to try to get him swinging. Or if you're going to throw that breaking ball, you got to bury it. Bury it in the dirt and trust your catcher.
All right, here we go. Huge pitch. Outside.
Ooh. He thought about it.
That's
did. That's a good waste pitch right there. That's
it's a good waste pitch. About. And when the game was still close in Game 6 against the Sox, that's one that they got Correa out on. That big outside 32 count. That was a huge one. They threw that way outside like that, and he went hacking at it like crazy. So that was a good test based on what they've seen. You still got more pitches you can give up, so good pitch.
Soupy, are you a Sooner? Oh, boy. I know you're going to love that question.
God. No, I live in Oklahoma. I don't associate myself with anything pertaining to.
Supos is a Go Horns fan. Hook 'em horns.
I'm a Longhorns fan. My stepmother was born and raised. We got Rick in here in the dugout looking like he's falling asleep for the Braves. That's good. Game 1 World Series. I know that was just a random shot on him, but it looked like he was sleeping.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch. Outside. Oh, big time.
Oh, that ball gets away.
Runners are going to advance. Second and third.
Boy, that ball almost went up and over the net.
So I got a question for you right here. I know it's super early, but 3-2 pitch. You got Correa up here. First base is wide open. 2 outs. Do you just give him the 4th ball right now and go and reset this situation with the next batter?
God, that's a good one. Who's on deck is who's the 6-hole hitter for? It's Kyle Tucker.
It's Kyle Tucker, who's a lefty, so no.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm
you
going
gotta go
after Correa.
now. Yep. Once I realized it was a lefty, that answered the question. Here we go. 3-2 pitch. Ooh.
Ooh, almost hit it.
So the first pitch at the at bat, that it was the exact same pitch,
Yeah,
and it broke beautifully and gave him a strike, and Correa turned. Correa turned the
yeah.
exact same way, but this way on purpose because of the fact that he's missing. He's starting to miss the last two batters. He's missing
And
location.
Rick woke up from his nap as he's on his way out to the mound.
No, answer the earlier question while we get a mound visit here. I am a Longhorns fan. My stepmother was born and raised in Austin, Texas. Just so happened that through circumstances that I was brought down here to Oklahoma with a lot of great opportunities. Love the state, love the opportunities. I live in the OKC metro area. But it's kind of funny that God stuck me in Sooner Nation because they drive me just up a freaking wall. I love a lot of them, but they drive me up a wall. The Pokes fans are the ones that I love, even though the Oklahoma State fans aren't as big a fan of me as a Longhorns fan either, but they're good people. So
Drew says, "Oh God, no, that's even worse."
Yeah, I don't care. Hook them. Listen, Boston College, you had Doug Flutie. There's a little bit of Matt Ryan, but college football is, this, Combs living up there, but it's all professional sports in New England. So when my stepmother from Austin, Texas, we would do housework on a Saturday morning. We have speakers outside the house. We're working out in the field and everything. We had the pregame show going. We'd come in to eat lunch. The game would be on. It was her. That was life for her. So here
Kyle
we go.
Tucker's career with the bases loaded. He's hitting 393 with a grand slam this season, 498 or 428.
6 for 14.
Oh,
wow. But you know what's it was up there going for that first pitch. You know what's great about that stat, though, just shows, though, Kyle Tucker, he's not up there trying to hit the grand slam. Sometimes you're like, how many he has one, but that average is so through the roof, which means he picks a spot. He's looking for the right pitch.
They're still swinging early and often on him, too. So, that's going to be a thing. I think that's going to be a theme until they get Morton out of this game.
Yep.
Is to swing early and often.
Pressure him. If Correa had known how that pitch was going to break on the first one, I think he would have swung at that pitch. Sure. It just fooled him, but I think he wanted to go up there hitting. Swing through the gap. Oh, great stop at second. Stop. Gets out of the jam. Great
Ozzie
play.
Albies with the da-na-na.
Web gem. Correa
Absolutely.
Made sure he didn't get hit, but he's there. Great scoop. Clean throw to first base. Gets out of the jam.
That's huge for Morton to get out of there. Now you can breathe a little bit. The nerves will settle down heading into the second inning. This is really where you're going to be able to tell where these two pitchers stand as how their second inning goes. And, this 2-0, to be honest with you, right at first, the way these first, the first inning has gone, it looks like it's going to be a high-scoring game. But this could be a 2-0 game at the end.
Well,
if both of these pitchers settle down, it can be lights out.
Think about Game 4 in the ALCS, where everyone was saying it's probably going to be 15-13 for final score. Astros get 1 run, and then I think it was Xander comes out and hits the 2-run home run. It's 2-1 in the first inning. It was like, this is going to be a barn burner. And then both pitchers calmed down, and I think it was 2-1 until the 7th inning or something like that. So
Soup, let's give away a bat. You want to give away a bat? So
why the hell not?
Bat from Gold Rush. So here's going to be the first question. First person with the answer in the chat can go ahead and get this prize. We'll open it up. We'll see who's inside. I have no clue who's inside this one.
I want to go in the stream to see the chat itself. I love getting in here.
So the first question is, what was the name of the podcast that Soup Boss and I started? What was the name of the podcast that Soup and I started?
All right, Soup family. I sent you guys a stream to get you in here. A bunch of you should know this.
First one in the chat. We got to take the first answer. It's the only way to do this. We don't have phone lines. What was the name?
We don't have phone lines. Thank God for that.
Of the podcast that we first started.
I was like, oh, Michelle's coming in with it. Nope.
Nope. She could win. She could win. She didn't win the Beastie shirt either.
Hey, I want a Beastie shirt, and you guys still don't have mediums. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's like Buck doesn't believe we have small people that watch the show.
Good try there, Drew. But that's
Only
my
dad bod.
that's my section. That's my little segment I have here.
What was
on the
Drew's
Man
answer?
Hour.
Spilled soup. No,
Spilled
that is
soup.
not the name of the show. There was a show that Soup and I started, and that's what got us to where we're at now, here on the Man Hour. It was right before I joined Buck on the Man Hour.
While we're
We
waiting
ran
for the
a
answer, we're going.
podcast.
Inning 2 is starting.
Inning 2 is started.
Soup for less. Drew's go for everything.
Soup for less. I'll tell you this: the word "soup" is not in it.
We should have done that. I wanted to see how many creative answers Drew was going to come up with the soup. We've been like soup balls, no soup for you. Ooh. So Valdez now coming in pitching with an 0-1. Hits the same spot with the same type of pitch that Morton threw in the bottom of the first. But being left-handed, I think gave him an advantage, and he got the call. We'll keep an eye out and see if this is, if Blue is going to start –
we're going to
widen out that strike zone just a tad bit. It looks like the last couple that have gone outside the zone, he's called.
You're going to see a lot of filthy breaking balls in this game.
Ooh.
Between these two pitchers. And d'Arnaud just goes down and gets one. He took that one off the ground. Just punched it through the hole.
Okay, so take my point, what I was just saying before, that if the umpire is going to start calling these ones that are creeping away from the strike zone strikes, then they got to do that. You got to go up there. You can't just assume that's going to be a ball. It affects. We've talked about it. When you mess up the strike zone, it affects the way the batters hit. But he went out there and said, "Screw it. I'm not going to take the chance." Michelle can't think of it.
Michelle, what the hell? Oh my God!
I think my dog just whined through the window. I think even she's like, "What the heck?"
She's like, Valdez. Even I know the answer. How does? Oh, I can't believe nobody's come up with it. What the hell, boss? We got to get a reunion to get people on this thing.
No kidding. Jock Peterson up in a big spot here.
Jocktober, baby.
Jocktober. Let's see if he can keep it going.
We've got a winner.
Hey, Liz!
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah! Way to go, Liz.
Girl. So Liz wins the bat. I don't know who's in here, but we're about to find out. Let's open this thing up as Jock Peterson is on a 1-1 count.
How you do that?
Oh, man, usually the name's on the lid, but the name wasn't on the lid on this one.
Oh, great pitch by Valdez. Taking that spot where they've been throwing those breaking balls in, straight heat, 95 miles per hour, right in the bottom of the strike zone. I'm going to be working the off speed to the fastball pitches throughout the night.
This is a good one.
Ruben Sierra, my all-time play. Come on.
This is a Juan Soto.
Ooh.
Juan Soto of the Washington Nationals. Kid is
Jock with a hit to left field, goes the opposite field. We've got first and second, no outs.
This is a game bat.
That's a game bat. Holy cow, Liz.
It's a Rawlings Pro Line game bat.
Potential future MVP of MLB game used bat. Congratulations. That's sexier than anything I have in my collection.
I'm actually headed to the Milwaukee office tomorrow, so I have to bring that in for.
Are you driving or are you flying?
Driving. It's an hour and a half drive.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how far it was, though.
Sometimes 2 hours. Depends on. That was before my time, Drew says.
Michelle having a blonde moment.
Oh, God. Yeah, no kidding. Michelle, we have cups with the name in our basement. There are literally cups with the logo and the name. Oh, man.
We're going to have like a retro night. Bring it back for a segment or a retro night, and just we'll have to bring Michelle on as again. Oh, big swing. Gonna go warning track right up against the wall. Right against the wall. But that's going to get the runner to third. Oh, and Jock. Jock was tagged up. He didn't go halfway. Jock was ready to go.
That's heads up base running by Jock.
Well, big one by him, but that was right up against the wall. That might have been a blunder if that thing kind of ricochets off the wall just a little bit. So good call by the first base coach, who had to be calling it back, thinking that he had the knowledge that.
Well, you figure if it's right up against the wall and his back's up against the wall like that, at that point it's either gone or it's going to bounce hard off the wall. He's not going to get to it before you get a chance to round to third anyway.
I hope so. But let's look at this replay. I want to see how
just got underneath it, man. Just underneath it.
His eyes were big on that. So here
we go. Valdez needs to work out of a jam here.
Again.
Here's Jorge Soler, the second at bat of the night.
He's a huge dude. Pitch. Look at the size of this kid.
He hit the first pitch over the left field.
They're going to play.
They got Jock hung up.
They're going to get the guy at home, though. So 3-0. Man on first.
Pickle!
2 outs. They played Pickle with the man on third. Well, it wasn't even really Pickle. It was just a simple tag. I was hoping for a little Pickle play.
Josh is chiming in. Josh, also from the office over there in Milwaukee, says that you bringing breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to eat it on the way there, Josh.
I might stop in and pay. Hey, what was that, a fat joke?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was, my friend who could break me in half.
I might stop in and grab some donuts. We'll see, Josh. We'll see how the rest of the night goes.
Some dunks? Is it Dunkies on the way?
Some dunks. Dunkins. Everybody's like, it's not Dunkins, it's Dunkin'. I said, no, it's Dunkins, because in New England, there's 5 of them on every freaking corner. So it's Dunkins, because you got to choose which one you're going to go into.
It's not an exaggeration either. If you go to my Facebook page, my personal one, I posted a video of someone saying only in New England. And literally, there's 2 Dunkies in the exact same shopping plaza. End of it,
right
2 stores, another one.
Yeah.
Literally right next to each other. That's New England. They mark it to figure out how long it takes a grown man in between there's 25 and 35 years old to drink a large coffee. And that's the distance they put the next dunks, which up there it's life. So they pretty much can pound that thing in about 5 minutes.
So Freddie Freeman is up on an 0-2 count. Jorge Soler is at first.
Now watch Freddie's
here. Freddie's a good 0-2 hitter, man.
Yeah, lefty and lefty. He's gonna watch this. He's gonna choke up, really do a quick little spin on his swing here.
He's got that Anthony Rizzo approach. Choke up with 2 strikes.
Yep. Look, he's got a little bit of a choke up right now. Quick little hack slash right there to foul it off.
I thought the catcher caught it at first.
No, that went off foul ball. So big spot. Even though they got the run, still a big spot here for Freddie Freeman. You can really push the Astros to have to think about pulling Valdez. But if he gets out of this, they give him one more inning. Hey, listen, let the offense we get 1 run back. We're back at the exact same deficit. Ooh, good hold by Freddie Freeman.
Good layoff. Yeah.
Good layoff on that pitch.
That was a great waste pitch by Valdez, but that was a really good layoff by Freeman because he really wanted to push it right there and try to go opposite field. See what he can do here.
I love the hate Drew's giving me because I'm a Longhorns fan. Like, the Longhorns have done anything in the last decade. I'm one of the most honest Longhorn fans either. Like, it blows me away how much people get so pissy at Longhorns. Like, they haven't done crap. Like, horns down all across the nation. I got West Virginia versus Iowa, and they're throwing horns. They're not even in the damn game. And you guys get – is it hard to hear the footsteps of Austin, Texas natives with how much they live rent-free in your guys' heads? Like, I don't understand it. They haven't done anything.
I know. They haven't been good since Vince Young. There's ball 3.
What a stop.
3-2 count to Freeman. That was Martin Maldonado is one of the best defensive catchers in the game.
Really good.
If you haven't seen Martin Maldonado behind the plate,
did he come up through their farm system?
No. So he started out actually with Texas, and then he went to the Astros. Then he went to the Cubs. Then I believe he went to the Brewers for half a season, and then he went back to the Astros as a free agent. Here's a 3-2 pitch, ball 4. Freddie Freeman takes ball 4. The catcher ran off like he thought it was strike 3.
Yeah, I think he's running up to the mound. In the dirt. He's trying to calm Valdez down. Valdez had an 0-2. Lefty on lefty, 0-2. Goes up there on an 0-2 pitch. Throws a great pitch high up and away.
Yeah.
Threw away one on purpose to see if Freeman would swing, but the next 3 pitches weren't good. He's gripping that ball so tight. Where the heck was this in Game 6 against the Sox, Valdez? For the love of God.
He wasted all his good pitches. And here's Ozzie Albies. Ozzie Albies, I said he was going to have a really good World Series. I thought he was going to blow up. I picked Freddie Freeman to be my MVP, but Ozzie Albies could absolutely be the MVP of this series. I think he's going to have a great series. He had a hit in his first at-bat. He's 1 for 1. He sees ball 1 here, as Valdez is still struggling to find the zone after going 0-2 on Freddie Freeman.
I love his stance. My favorite player growing up all time, Ruben Sierra, and he had that kind of foot out and then the big leg kick for the pitch. Very similar.
With the old holding the bat over the head like Sammy Sosa before he
Whoa!
Dave, he beat that out.
He beat
routine ground ball up the middle, and he beat it out.
He beat it out. He was hustling. The second he swung, made contact, hustle. Since you're in Little League, you're told you hustle, you make something happen. And in a day where we see so many people, Stanton in the ALDS strutting his way up first base because he thought he had a home run, that proves it. Go out there and hustle to first base. It doesn't matter where you put it. They still have to get you out. And it's not like Altuve just short armed through that.
He got rid of it quick.
He picked it up straight through a fastball to first base. Great hustle.
Yeah, he's safe too. They're replaying it over and over, but he's safe.
And
that keeps Valdez working too. So
what a kick in the junk to his confidence right there.
Yeah, he's already at 41 pitches through 2 innings. Well, through an inning and 2/3, I should say. And now you've got to deal with Austin Riley with the bases loaded. And if you give in here, this kid will leave the yard. He will hit it out of the dome through the roof.
This game is over if he hits a grand slam.
Strike 1. That was down. That was down, but he got the call.
But it was a heater. I told you, the heater for this glow, he's going to call it as opposed to the breaking stuff.
And you're going to hear it a lot from me in this series, in life in general,
big swing,
calling for automated zones. But that right there is why we need automated zones, because you make that call, and what does Austin Riley do on the very next pitch? He goes fishing for another one that's down there because he doesn't know what you're going to call, so he has to swing. It changes an at-bat. It changes the game in a crucial moment. Drives me insane, and he just does it again.
Big strike.
You cannot give a pitcher that much room out of the zone. It's just it
now, I'll give you this,
too many
though.
games.
I'll give you this though. That pitch was not leaps and bounds. It's just the aspect that the breaking balls, he's calling them a ball when they're that close, and the fastballs, he's calling them a strike. So I completely agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you, but at least it wasn't like 4 inches below the strike zone. We saw some horrible ones, especially in that ALCS. Especially, obviously, with the bad call on the check swing for the Dodgers and Giants. But that at least was close. It's there where I agree with you on the second pitch, but by that third pitch, don't go swimming for it.
Right.
And that's what he did. But big spot. And again, keeps it close enough. Let your offense go out there. But if you had hit a grand slam right there, I said it constantly with the Sox and Astros. I'm not taking any lead and saying that the game is over, but if they hit a grand slam right there, this game is over.
And don't go away, guys. If you guys, we've already given away. We just gave away a Juan Soto autographed bat.
Buck can't even enter his own raffle.
Pro-line bat. So stay with us as we are joined by the man himself, Buck. What is going on? You're here a little early, man. What's going on with the Man Hour show?
Yeah, I recorded a interview with Zen Malowski earlier today, and it ran about 40 minutes long.
Holy cow.
So, Zen's starting this week, versus Penn State. So it's pretty exciting.
Awesome.
Time over
that
there.
Is awesome. So, Soup, I don't know if you know, Zen is a player that Buck coached and went on to play at Ohio State University, which is crazy that Buck coached somebody who is actually good. And now he is going to be as a true freshman.
sometimes when you're coached a certain way and it's just like straight garbage, you realize like I got to be the opposite.
If I
of this.
do
So
everything this guy says, the opposite
opposite
way. Yeah, no, but Zen is
Just kidding,
Zen
Buck.
is a brick shithouse. This guy is like, what is he? 6'6", 6'7", Buck?
So he is 6'9". He's actually
Okay,
grown an
6'9".
inch since he
That's
left high
crazy.
school, and he's up to 330 now.
Dude,
So he's
330, and he's
50
probably got about 2% body fat.
Yeah.
Like, he is a
I have
monster on the
2% body
offensive
fat
line.
on my knuckles.
And it really shows if you're at Ohio State and you're able to start as a true freshman on the offensive line, you've got some talent there. So kudos to Zen. I'll be watching. I'll actually be rooting for Ohio State for the first time ever in my life as I throw up in my mouth a little bit as I say it. But yeah, no, I'll be rooting for you, Zen. Good luck out there.
Very nice.
But Buck, we've been talking about the game, obviously, but we've been talking about automated strike zones, and we just watched a call that was low in the zone get called a strike on the first pitch, and it completely altered the at bat.
Thank you.
And-
Sorry, not to interject here, but I was so stressed that you're going to have to call the rest of this game because Storm Tracker in Oklahoma sometimes literally goes right over games. NFL, it's happened, but they put it in a little box to the side. I can still see the game, so continue.
There you go. There you go. So we've got Yuli Gurriel up now with an 0-1 count. And Charlie Morton still pitching.
Hits the pitcher, goes to first, gets a lucky bounce.
Good God. Buck's a little bit ahead of us because there's no way he called that and was actually smart enough to call it. So, but Buck, what is your take on automated strike zones?
You know, that like I think that's why we like the baseball is because of the human element of the game. Like you have to adjust from game to game to game of like, is he calling the outside pitch? Is he calling the inside pitch? Is he, I can see, why you're saying what you say because, that one pitch did change the at bat, but at the same time, that one pitch changed the at bat, right? I mean, you have to adjust your game to the human element, and that's what makes baseball amazing.
Pop up.
Yeah, but not when it changes the game for the. I mean, that's like huge. You got the bases loaded with 2 outs, and now you just had a guy who had to swing at everything because he didn't know what you were going to call, and you changed his approach at the plate, and you allowed the pitcher. You give the pitcher an advantage because now he's like, I got this guy in the palm of my hand because he's got to swing now, so now I can throw it wherever, and he's going to swing because he doesn't know what's a strike and what's not.
And we're talking about that one pitch to use it as an example, but look at the whole body of work in this category for just the playoffs this year, let alone the regular season. It's horrible, Buck. It has gotten out of hand. We say it in all other sports. The refs and umps shouldn't be controlling the game. And yes, I know there's an element of that which makes baseball different, but you can't let them control it so much that you literally throw the players off of their game. Like, there's a human element, but you shouldn't be up there wondering whether or not your team is going to get the call 4 inches off of the strike zone or off the plate that's going to get the strike or not. That's, I mean, it's not even half the times. It's one team getting the call and one team isn't. That to me is not fair just because it's a human element.
Swings at strike 2 here. Got a 1-2 count with 1 out in the bottom of the second. 3-0 Braves. Charlie
Morton just threw a beautiful pitch that would have been a strike no matter what. Great pitch to get him out.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question then, Soup. Like, if the strike zone was the same every game, no matter what, it's, wouldn't that...
Well, it's not no matter what because the height of the batter changes it, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? So let's say that the strike zone doesn't change at all from game to game for 162 games in a year, plus spring training and postseason. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that up the offensive production, make it like, basically slow pitch softball scores like at this point?
No, it's not going to make it slow pitch softball scores. Is it going to produce more offense? Yeah, sure. But you know what it's also going to produce? Pitchers that have to be better with their spots. And I'm sorry, but I grew up with watching a guy that Combs is probably going to love hearing me give the credit to. But Greg Maddux was a guy that showed like you don't have to get the right calls, and we've got a dribbler up the third baseline foul ball. You don't have to, only be able to throw 100 miles an hour. You don't have to make sure you're getting every call the right way. You go up there and you pick your spots to get the batters to swing at stuff that they shouldn't be swinging at, or get them to get into ground balls or pop-ups. That art, just as much as Combs and I were talking earlier, has been lost on pitchers as much as the art of hitting like Tony Gwynn did back in the day. So for once, when I'm saying, hey, historical baseball, the sport's got to move on, I would almost reverse that statement in players today saying, listen, learn to hit, not just to go up there and swing for a home run. And pitchers, learn to pitch, to get these individuals, these players to ground out and pop up instead of just going out there trying to strike out or hoping you get the call. We see a goal line in the NFL. When the piece of the football touches the goal line, that's a touchdown. It should be, if the ball is hitting the box in the strike zone, that's a strike. It shouldn't be a ball, or it shouldn't be a strike if it goes outside that line.
And what's the whole point of replay? The whole point of instant replay is to get the call right. And that's the whole point of an automated strike zone, is to get the call right. And exactly. it should be cut and dry and straight. And they've got the technology to do it. It makes zero sense to not do it. It makes zero sense.
So, Soup, I see what you're saying, but you are kind of comparing apples to oranges, like as I say. Although fruit can be compared, I don't know why they say that, but fruit can be compared.
Okay.
What a play by Freddie
shot. Freeman snagged that. Grab. We're taking away a double for the Astros.
Let's put this conversation to a quick hold. You guys want to give away some more merchandise?
Always.
Sounds good to me.
I've got a jersey in here.
If anyone's wondering, the Knicks are up 83-58 over 76ers. Like anyone gives a crap.
Also, I want you guys to address that comment from the casual baseball fan too, Rashawn Boyd.
We'll do.
Sean. Yeah.
So we've got a jersey in here. Not sure which jersey is in this one. I kind of switched things up so I wouldn't know. But we are going to do another question. This one is going to be a baseball question.
Ooh, ask me.
We are in the World Series. That's how I know Buck can only get this as if he cheats.
Is this something that Google can't be used to answer? I hope so.
First person to get this one right in the comments will win the jersey. We'll open up the box. We'll see what jersey is in it. But let's go with Let's go with this one. I'm going off the top of my head here. Let's go with the 2016 World Series. Something that's near and dear to my heart. Who was the winner of Game 7? Who was the winner of Game 7 of the 2016 World Series? No, not
I win.
Pitcher. Who is the pitcher who won? Sorry, I should have stated that first. Who is the pitcher who got the win in Game 7 of the 2016 World Series? First person to answer will win the jersey. And,
Soup, do you see this?
Go ahead.
This says 2016 on it, and Combs has been hanging on to it for 6 years now.
Oh, my God. All right, 2015. So he says, just call me Rock for short. All right, Rock. So he says, I say leave out auto strike zone. Will records have an asterisk after a strike zone change? Old records can't be compared. No, because here's the thing with that is that every era has its thing. So we have the steroid era.
Sport.
We have the 80s, which I like to call the cocaine era. I
love it.
We have the 50s and 60s and where they're the 60s and early 70s where guys were doing lots of stuff. Hell, you even look back to the Babe Ruth era. Babe Ruth loved to drink, play drunk. Like every era has its thing. And if you're not going to put an asterisk, because I'm telling you right now, pitchers today are 10 times better than pitchers were back then. And hitters today are 10 times better than hitters were back then. If you're not going to put asterisks on that, you're not going to put an asterisk on the automated strike zone.
I think it just literally comes down to as simple as saying, Combs.
That is not correct, Liz. That is not correct. Although he did pitch a great game, and Joe Madden did take him out way too soon. It was not Kyle Hendricks.
Combs is getting pissed, even though his team won the World Series. You could tell he's took him out too soon. Like it ended up in the right. Got to swing on the first pitch back to the top of the third. Real quick though,
Eddie
just to
Rosario.
go back. It's real simple. There's rule changes all the time. That doesn't mean there's asterisks. They used to not record the sack numbers. Doesn't matter. Reggie White is still the sack leader, even though someone probably believes that someone else had more sacks. There was no 3-point line at one point. Now we sit here and we applaud Steph Curry and the Reggie Millers and the Ray Allens, but there were players that could have taken those shots back in the day. There's no asterisk element. You just say the game has changed. The rules have changed. Heck, I have a whole dynasty I get to cheer for in the Patriots because of an actual rule that was the Tuck rule that's not allowed anymore.
He said, wasn't it Hendricks? No, it was not Hendricks. Look, they went into extra innings.
Jimmy?
They went into extra innings because of the rain delay, and Hendricks was taken out in the 7th inning.
And because the Indians got a nice home run off of Chapman in the 9th. He's a Yankee now, so I love...
Way to give away the answer, Buck. I mean, Soup. They won it in the 10th.
Why did you give more information? Are you serious? You just gave it away, you idiot.
Yeah.
If people didn't know it went into extra innings, I said they get a home run off of a guy. That doesn't guarantee that person is the
the first person
pitcher.
to say the answer that Soup Boss just gave away.
You're a damn idiot, Combs.
Don't worry, nobody.
Man, this is what ticks you off. I'm gonna go back and watch a baseball game here. 3-2 pitch, top of the 3rd. Valdez,
nobody out
at 50 pitches.
Here's Rosario, the NLCS MVP with a base hit.
Big difference right there. You see him going up there getting that hit, whereas the Astros, it's how the way the ball bounces. Get a quick out on Freeman at first on a what should have been a double. Very first batter of that inning had the ball go right off the pitcher's Morton's foot to get the out. And the Braves right now are getting in these gaps. It's the difference in inches. Really is.
Who do you guys got winning this game, by the way?
Braves.
I've got the Braves in game 1. I got the Astros in game 2. I got this one going 7. I think that they split here in Houston. The Braves take 2 out of 3 in Atlanta. Astros win game 6, and then the Braves win game 7.
Valdez, you got to remember, even though he had just that amazing game 6 performance against the Sox, remember in his first game against the Sox, he just got this looked exactly like him. So I assumed it was going to be the same thing, especially now you're game 1 starter, because I think he was game 2 starter in the ALCS. Game 1 starter, World Series.
Drew with the big W. As he is the first person to comment, Chapman. Let's see what jersey this is.
I'll laugh my rear end off if it's a Chapman jersey. We could do a magic show.
That would be hilarious. It is not. Ooh, Soup Boss. You're gonna like this one. You're gonna like this one. It's a throwback too.
Is it Noma?
No.
Poppy?
Think
Teddy Ballgame? Jerry Rice? Dwight Evans?
Think
Troy
home run,
Leary?
waving
Trot
it down
Nixon?
the line.
Ball from my home area in New Hampshire. Carlton Fisk. Drew, I'm a jealous man. That was the last place I worked before leaving New England, was his hometown, where there's a statue built of Carlton Fisk.
So there's the autograph. I don't know if you can really see it with the JSA.
Yeah, you can kind of see it on the two a little bit.
There. So Drew, that is Drew's second win of the night. He won the Beastie T-shirt earlier. Now he just won a Carlton Fisk autographed jersey.
There Drew, if I give you a Bitcoin and $1,000 to the Bucks facility, you give me that jersey. Valdez.
If I give you a Bitcoin.
I won't tell you it's the actual Bitcoin. It's just a crypto.
Yeah.
I'll take your crypto for $200.
Yeah.
$200. I have 28 million SHIB coin right now that I'm just watching go up, and I'm just.
Did they say that? What did they say that one crypto or whatever that Brady gave to that guy with the ball was worth
Bitcoin
$63,000?
Yeah, it's the highest Bitcoin. There's a famous tweet by some guy who had hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin when it got up to 10 cents, and he said it was a waste of space. And he loves to retweet it, and to tell people to hold on to their stuff. Like, kids, learn from me. who would be a freaking billionaire right now if I had just had a little more patience, because it wasn't like a year and a half. It started to jump up, and now it's like $60,000 a piece.
Oh man.
Oh, big hit.
Oh, that's a
gone.
shot.
Wiffle ball
See
left
ya.
field. All right.
That was a wiffle ball shot too.
It
is now 5-0 Atlanta as Adam Duvall just murdered that ball.
This is the Valdez we saw earlier in the series in the LCS. Dusty's got to pull him now. I mean,
did you guys just see that stat? The Braves were the first team ever to score in the first 3 innings of the World Series
of Game 1.
That's crazy.
That's crazy with how long this sport has been around, that they are the first team to put up a single number in all 3 innings. I'm not going to say the stupid thing that freaking Smoltz said to endless amounts. I'm going to say a crooked number, but they just put up a digit in the first 3 innings. That's insane. Think about how long this game's been going on.
Crooked number, humpback, right?
I think I said that to you in a comment on
SoundCloud
Facebook afterwards too. Yeah, I forgot that we had this thing. I don't know if does that even
the Bitcoin. Hey, Drew, I'm going to give you a little bit of a lesson here on
not
Bitcoin.
Feeling it, Buck?
It's kind of hard to read, I think.
Bitcoin has not dropped 40%. You go look it up. Bitcoin for the last 12 years has gone from decimal points of a penny to $60,000. I don't get your 40%.
What if we did it
drop.
like this?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Score.
That's a lot better.
All right.
Maybe just put ATL and HOU, make it a little smaller, maybe. But I'm not. I'm picky sometimes.
That's true.
The Elon Musk crypto that he's trying to start just dropped like 30%.
Didn't he go on and kind of kill it though on when he was on Saturday Night Live?
Well, that was Doge.
Doge.
It got up to 70 cents, which, by the way, I made some good little money on that and got Danny to do that. That was a big one. It got up to 70 cents. He went in. It started dropping before Saturday Night Live, though. The Thursday, it was at its peak. 70 cents started to drop. It dropped a lot after that, shockingly. But that's been sitting around 20 to 30%. But Bitcoin is the monster. I mean, it has done nothing but go through.
Rock wants to know something baseball instead of crypto, since we are covering the World Series here.
Hey, crypto's going to be sponsoring World Series games in no time. They already do the F1 races.
Do you guys think Shohei Ohtani will change how players play in the future? He made baseball exciting this year.
God, I want Rock. I really, really want that to be the case. But he reminds me, though he did it so much better, he reminds me of the Bumgarner type of thing. Like, it is cool to see him go up there and hit, but there's already injury worries, and that's a lot of wear and tear. And at the end of the day, a lot of teams, they just want you to either be one hell of a damn good pitcher or one hell of a damn good hitter. I would love to see it, but I don't know if it's going to change the game. But there's going to be there are kids right now. We talked about it, Combs, in the beginning of this game, that watch the home run hitting, and that's the way the game is. I think there will be batters that end up growing, that see this now, and in about 10, 15 years, we're going to have pitcher/hitters coming into MLB. So I hope we see more of it, but I don't know if it will be like a whole game changer.
Yeah, see, I don't think it will. As a matter of fact, I don't even think that Shohei Ohtani will be a two-way player for much longer in his career. I don't think that his body will be able to sustain what it needs to do to be able to be an everyday player and an everyday pitcher. But that's just me. I think he's a one and done type guy. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of that coming through. He says, my uncle told me Babe Ruth used to pitch back in the day. He did.
He was a pitcher for the Red Sox when they traded him to the Yankees.
He was. And what did they trade him for? The rights to a Broadway play, right? Something like that.
The money they needed, the rights to it, and the money they needed to finalize it out. It's pretty much the equivalent of trading one of your best players for a second.
What was it called? No Nanette or something? What was the name of the play? It was something
It
bad.
was
But yeah,
it was way to put a curse on Boston for too damn long. That's what it was
yeah,
called.
that was
Wait,
back in the
are
day.
you guys being serious? Like,
Yeah.
like I can't tell.
No, yeah, for
Yeah.
real. That's
Yeah.
what they traded him
Wow.
for.
Babe Ruth was traded from the Red Sox to the Yankees for the
Yeah.
rights to a Broadway musical plus the money to finalize it, to put it all together, and to pay the actors and
Yeah.
actresses. The
then
owner of
Babe
the
Ruth-
Red Sox also owned like Broadway stuff. That was it. That's all he got traded for.
And then Babe Ruth became Babe Ruth as a Yankee.
Wow.
And he was already Babe Ruth as a Red Sox. He was to rock what you're bringing up. He was a dominant left-handed pitcher. If it wasn't for a guy called Cy Young that was on the Red Sox before that, the award might have been called the Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth Award. Yeah.
And instead he goes out there and becomes one of the most dominant hitters as well. But he even pitched for the Yankees. People don't realize that because he was the Sultan of the SWAT.
Yeah. He was phenomenal. That was definitely not the Red Sox best trade ever.
How do you guys feel about this shift stuff?
Ooh.
You know, part of me doesn't like it. Like the traditionalist part of me doesn't like it. But at the same time, the traditionalist part of me also says hit the ball the other way.
It works.
Learn how to hit the ball the other way. If you can't hit the ball the other way, then yeah, absolutely shift them.
When they started the shift, there was a game in which Edgar Renteria came up.
They started because of Poppy, right?
Yeah, because of Poppy. And then Edgar Renteria got a no-2 count here with one out on top of the third with Jock up. Edgar Renteria
so he has
came
a chance
up
real quick. So Jock Peterson has a chance to be the first player ever to hit a home run in a World Series against the same team for two different teams. He did
cool.
it. He did it with the Dodgers in 2017 against the Astros, and now he's got a chance to do it with the Braves against the Astros.
See the quote I put of him on Soup today? It's
no.
like, what I learned about previous World Series is you just got to score more runs than the other team. The guy's such a freaking meathead. He's a hell of a baseball player, but he's a freaking meathead. He reminds me of Gronk. He really does.
Yeah. As Rock chimes in again, Rock says that's why baseball is fun to me. The lore and drama, then the strike zone change. But I'm a fan of instant replay.
Look, up there shortening up his swing, trying to.
I don't mind instant replay. I just feel like everything should be reviewable. There shouldn't be anything that's not reviewable. You give your managers a certain amount of challenges in a game. They can only use those amount of challenges anyway. Why shouldn't everything be reviewable?
It works in the NFL, but even they have some calls you can't do it, and people have said just make it all reviewable, and the coaches get to choose if I'm going to waste one of my challenges or not. Do I think this is worth the challenge? Just let the coaches do it. Give it to them.
The problem with the NFL, there are judgment calls. There are
in that aspect.
Well, that's what the strike
zone is a little bit different, right? It's a judgment call. Exactly. Thank you. That's what I was going to say. Combs. That's what the strike zone is—a judgment call, and instead they can. But did you call it?
Did he do it?
Nope.
Did he do it?
Got underneath it.
I need to move my TV to
Jock.
right here.
That's my guy. Man, I was so disappointed when I know why they did it. I was just disappointed when the Cubs traded him at the trade deadline. He's
Same
one of
thing
my
with
favorite.
Soler. I was kind of upset when the Royals traded him.
Yeah, but again, same thing with Soler. Like, you understand why they did it business wise, because of the money they're going to command in free agency. He was only on a 1-year deal anyway.
He was so bad with the Royals, though. He was batting like 167 or something. It was terrible.
Yeah. And now he's playing in the World Series, and he hit a leadoff home run.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting that down and away pitch. The blue is starting to give more to that's going to be strikes. So if this game continues to stay out of hand, in the end it won't mean much. But if, let's say, Houston all of a sudden finds a way to score like 4 runs, we could see that being a big call here later in the game.
So also, me being like a passive baseball guy, the umpires switch spots on the field, right? So the home plate guy will go to second base, or is there a game when this home plate umpire will ump the plate again?
Is it game 5, Combs? Is it every 4 games?
No, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's 7.
There's
6
umps.
There's 6 umps. I thought there were 7. Oh, there's always a backup.
Yeah, there's six umps, and then
An
they do have a
emergency ump.
backup. Yeah, but they'll rotate, and I believe if you're in game 1, you're in game 7.
So this could play dividends in game 7 if he's starting to give
Yeah.
away the low strike zone.
Yeah.
And that's that's the thing that bothers me the most is consistency too, because he wasn't given that pitch in the first inning.
No.
I mean, we saw it with Charlie Morton on the mound where he hit one that was right on the line. He didn't get the call. And now you're giving Valdez 2 inches below the zone.
And he just gave Garcia one that was about 1.5 inches, 2 inches off the corner, and he gave it to him.
So
you guys think it's because of the score?
No, I think it's just because the umpires are inconsistent, and it's human error. I get it, right. But at the same time, I mean, what was the one in the playoffs that really got the view? The guy missed 21 calls behind the plate.
That was against the Sox.
It was one of them would have been strike 3 that would have ended the inning in a tie game in the 9th inning.
And that's where the Astros ended up scoring 6 runs.
Yeah, the very next pitch got hit.
Strike 3. It should have been over. It wasn't even like it was debatable. It was a strike.
Oh yeah, it was
right in the corner, and he was just terrible, absolutely terrible. And I mean, at the end of the day, you still got to go up there and swing. Like Boston still didn't,
Well, I mean, you're down and out. Once you put, I mean, that's a big downer in the 9th inning.
That's a big crooked number.
You're going into a 2-2 game, and now all of a sudden you're down 9-2.
Yeah, it's deflating.
Yeah,
3-2 count here, top of the third. By the way, Swanson there, number 9 hitter. Big hack at that.
See, Boss knows all about deflating, don't you?
Wow.
Stupidest jokes ever. Deflating balls. Like that was anything outside of the element of nothing different than anyone else does.
Don't hate the player.
Especially when guys like Aaron Rodgers came out and says that he takes air pressure out of the balls as well.
Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning, and Brad Johnson all came out and started saying something. Yeah. And then all of a sudden when they realized there was an investigation.
To end the
great pitch.
Swanson. But no, you know what? Did you guys watch the Monday Night Football game last night? Did you watch the?
No, I watched Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and Tom Brady just have a blast.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched that over the game. The game was background noise for the three of them. It was hilarious.
You know what? I really was disappointed in Tom Brady about last night, or not Tom Brady, Eli Manning. No, about Eli Manning was that at one point Tom Brady said, "I love watching you guys on here, but I'd rather see you on the field." If I was Eli Manning, I would have been like, "Yeah, except for in the Super Bowl." I would have, dude. If Eli Manning would have said that, I would have freaking lost my mind.
Because he already said something about that. There's, and I put it on Soup. There was a comment about how Brady said, "I enjoyed out of the two. I enjoy playing Peyton my games with Peyton just a little bit more." And Eli said, "Yeah, but I really enjoyed my games against you, Tom." So he kind of already took that dig. Yep.
He made me mad when he didn't take that one shot, so I switched it over for a little bit and started watching something else, and then I came back.
Drew said he watched the game. Drew, did you watch the game, or did you watch Peyton, Eli, Tom Brady? They even had Sue Bird on there, which I love. Peyton just trying to like be nice to her and be like, don't listen to everyone trying to create stories. They did it with me 4 years before I retired. Everything, yeah, don't let it be your time. But hey, are you going to retire? Like he tried to get the scoop by like being real nice to her about whether or not she's going to retire and be like, don't buy into it. But you can tell me. Go ahead, let me know. He wanted the scoop right there. He actually just watched the game. Rock said, "I hated that roughing the passer call at the end." I wish I could sympathize with you, Rock. I honestly was just listening to the Manning brothers. It
was a good call. It was a good call.
It was a good call?
Yeah.
Rock, I don't think Rock believed you.
He definitely launched himself into his helmet and lowered his helmet or lowered his head. But
hey, we got tornadoes in Western Oklahoma. If any of our awesome Man Hour fans are in Western Oklahoma, out by Arnett, Vicky, Woodward.
Tornadoes. I got from Kansas, and I absolutely love tornado season. Do you like tornado season, Soup?
Oh, I love it. I love the weather. I love the temperature. just the feeling in the air, the light breeze in it all.
Yeah.
And there's kind of just an excitement about it too, right? Like it's one of those things, like it's literally an event out here. My first year living here, I went down the street to go to a group session with a bunch of friends from a church, and I go in, they're all huddled behind like a couch, but it's up on the big screen. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, we're watching for the storm. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I drove here. And it's a really cool thing. There is, of course, though, the devastation that happened down in Moore back in 2013. So there's a lot of people that obviously that affected. But outside of those huge, times, I enjoy the storm season down here in Oklahoma, even knowing there's tornadoes, 1,000 times better than dealing with nor'easters and 3.5 feet of snow that drop in a single day up in New England. Crap.
So we're in the bottom of the third, and Charlie Morton's about to go through his second time through the lineup against Jose Altuve. See how the Astros respond a second time through the lineup. Are you guys ready to give away another prize?
Let's do it. Let's see if Altuve's up there hacking, by the way.
And this is going to be a baseball. He just missed that one.
Just missed it. So Altuve, his first time up, first 2 pitches, a little eager. That one, I think he was trying to time it, and the speed, Morton just took just enough off that he stayed out in front of it. But that's 3 pitches Altuve could have put over that little wiffle ball fence in left field.
So this one, we're going to put we're going to play a little association with this one.
Drew's in Omaha.
So, excuse me.
Omaha.
I'm going to give you guys a couple of clues.
Productions.
And if you can name me the player, you win the ball.
Real quick,
your first clue.
Drew asked me if they found a way to keep Norman from blowing away. I
Don't
wish
play Texas.
it would blow away. I wish it would blow away.
Don't play K-State.
All right. So your first clue for this one is this man pitched in 807 games throughout his career. And posted a 3.19 career ERA.
I won't give it away this time, as long as you don't blow it.
Jeez. Are you hitting puberty combs with their combs or what?
Altuve strikes out. Big strikeout right there.
No, I don't know what the heck's going on. Something stuck in my throat. That's the wrong thing to say with you two idiots.
Yeah, just swallow, buddy.
Hey, you're burying yourself tonight with the giveaway. You might as well bury yourself with saying there's something lodged in your throat.
Yeah.
You already answered.
Drew answered.
Holy cow. How did he get it?
That was one of the easy. Are you serious? How did he get it? I knew it the second you were halfway done with the question.
Even I knew that one.
Yeah, that's an easy
by
one.
807 games started, you knew who that was right off the bat?
Yes.
That was a liar question, too.
That was pretty much a gimme to anyone that knows halfway the game of baseball. By the way, the strike 3 on Altuve, they're already showing the
All right, Drew, you're cut off after this one, Drew. No more prizes. You got to let somebody else win.
Yep. We got to let
third
Rock
win of the night. But
Rock said the greatest pitcher in his lifetime. Rock should have gotten that then, man.
You win the Nolan Ryan autographed baseball.
And he said he collects Nolan Ryan, so
there we go.
The best pitcher without a Cy Young. Caught you damn right, Rock.
Do you got a pallet already boxed up and shrink wrapped, ready to head to Omaha, or what?
Yeah, no kidding. He's got 3 pretty good prizes so far.
Omaha.
And he's got a Van Andler tumbler on the way.
I don't know what's better. What do you think's better, that Nolan Ryan ball or the Juan Soto bat?
Ooh, bat all day.
Yeah, I think that Juan Soto.
It's a game used bat. I'll take the game used bat. As much as I'm a Nolan Ryan freak, I absolutely love him. But unless that's a game used baseball, which I doubt.
It's not.
Yeah, no, the game used bat. Are you kidding me? A bat that Soto actually used and signed. Kid's gonna be a future MVP of this league.
All right. You heard it here first.
All right, guys, on that note,
I really thought that was the first good couple of clues. I didn't think anybody was going to get it just off of that.
That's why
as soon as somebody says 807 games pitched, the first person that comes to my mind is Cy Young.
No, that's it. Literally, you started saying it. That's why I said I won't give it away unless you do, because I knew right away that it was Nolan Ryan. So,
That was quick. All right. Oh,
On that note, guys, I got some man-hour editing to do, so I got to head out.
Gotta make us
So,
look
all
sexy.
right.
Yeah, I got to get some more clickbait titles, and
If
Well,
you're an
thanks for
Arizona
showing up.
Cardinals fan, me and Combs do not think the Cardinals are garbage. This is this man doing this to your team, not us.
247 dislikes. Disprove that.
Hey, Soup, do you got a cool phone case like I do?
Yeah, man, look at that.
A cool phone case.
Yeah, look at my phone case, man.
Mine's just a.
You got to get yourself one of these.
I just do solid blue and black. I work in a corporate office. I can't.
You can. This is just a man-hour one.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
It's black.
It's black, solid black with the man-hour logo on.
Yeah.
The back.
Do you got one for the LG Wing?
I think you can get one for the LG Wing. You've got all sorts of options on there.
Let me look. I'm not for sure. LG, kind of a shitty phone.
The Wing's not a shitty phone, baby.
All right, guys. On that
Can your
note,
phone do this? No.
I don't know. You froze, so we don't know what you did.
How would managers and analytics judge Nolan Ryan today? I'm assuming is what he's asking.
You guys have a good night.
All right, you too.
See you, Buck.
Later, Buck. That's a good question. With the way pitchers are today and not going longer than 5, maybe 6 innings.
It's so different, though. You got to remember, the analytics have played so much that we've been almost had it drilled in our brains. 100 pitch outing is considered like the top. Like once you get into the 90s, they're like, there's almost nothing left. Nolan Ryan came from an era where you threw 130, 140 pitches. You gritted through some tired times. You went out there with the knowledge of, I have to throw 9 innings because we need to be able to use our bullpen because there weren't as many solid good pitchers. Like now teams are built to have 3 solid starters, a halfway decent one, and then a rotating guy in on the 5th one. Back then it was like you had one solid one, maybe a second one.
Look at this one. The Braves have their ace going. He's got a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd, 1 out, nobody on, and they brought in AJ Minter.
Yeah. Morton's, out of the game.
Yeah, it's just not. Baseball is not the same as it was when we were growing up watching it.
If this was Nolan Ryan on the mound right now before this, and they tried to pull him in between innings or anything like that, he would have absolutely slugged the manager right in the face. It wouldn't have given 2 craps about it. It was also a different game in that aspect. Like, there's no way you're taking a guy like Nolan Ryan out. Even if it was 5-2,
he would knock you out on the mound if you try taking him out.
Yeah.
That guy was
so here we go.
On the mound.
So Minter just threw a pitch on a 1-1 that would hit that strike zone far more than all the ones that are down and away, and that gets called a ball.
And hit his target, by the way.
Yeah.
And hit
his target. The catcher wasn't crossing his body or going to the other side of the plate. Like, these are the things that start to frustrate fans.
Alpha Rob says, off topic, but since the Braves are in the World Series, how those 90 teams only won 1 World Series with the talent they had? Dude, they were the Buffalo Bills of baseball.
Bills of the 90s. Thank you. I was literally going to say it.
Yeah. They are. It was unbelievable.
Big double, by the way, for the Astros to try to get something going here. You pull your starter off, and they're showing how last time he probably had a base hit. Oh, that's why. So Morton got pulled out because in that strike out to Altuve, when we were debating on a couple different things or doing the giveaway, looks like that leg that got hit with the baseball got hurt. So it could be not so much because it was analytics, but because of an injury here, trying to make sure that he stays safe.
Drew said, "Go ahead and give the ball to Rock." I already have a Nolan Ryan autograph ball. Give the ball to Rock. Hey, look at that. He's paying it forward.
Drew.
So Rock, hit me up in the in Messenger through a PM. Send me your address, and we will get that ball to you. Alpha Rob, I don't know how that team only with that pitching staff that they had was just. I mean, Smoltz, Glavine,
Maddox.
Like, when Maddox is your number 3. you've got a pretty damn
don't get
solid
it.
rotation.
It was just one of those. It's just when strategy in baseball was still so much more important.
Yeah.
Because instead of guys going up there and trying to hit the home runs like today, there are guys up there just trying to like shorten up your swing, just make contact, slant, and there were guys that were trying to come down on the pitches so that they could get that chopper on the infield, stretch out, get that single, hope someone fumbles up the ball. And all those games were close games. Like they lost those World Series, but there were no like they lost 12-4 or something like that. It was like,
and the only reason
3-1,
they got
like
the
that.
one was because they beat the other Buffalo Bills of baseball and the Cleveland Indians.
Yep.
Who kept getting there but could not win it. They were another team. It was one of those years where one of them finally had to win it, and
Stuck
the
at
Braves
second.
did.
Chop out to third base, get the out at first, and keeping the runner at second base. Real quick, look over, make sure that he stays on second, kind of throws it offline because of it. Freeman comes up and makes the tag instead of the delay aspect, which actually I think is the wrong thing. He should just stepped on the bag and got ready to fire it back. He kind of did a little dance there, but it didn't end up hurting them.
Rock says Buffalo Bills of baseball is the best analogy.
It
really is. I mean,
It
they kept getting there and just could not win it. I don't know how that team didn't win like 4 straight World Series, though. Seriously, those Braves were so damn good. I mean, you're talking about David Justice, Fred McGriff.
Yeah.
They had who was their second baseman there? The curly hair. Why can't I think of his name? Oh God, War number 4. Oh my God, he's one of my favorite players of all time.
It just showed it wasn't just their pitching, though. I mean, just the two David Justice and Fred McGriff was one of those guys that was a home run hitter. He was in the time
Why
in the 90s.
Why can't I think of their second baseman? I'm looking it up right now. Why can't I think of it? It's gonna come to me as soon as I see it. I'm like, how did I freaking forget that? But yeah, that team was so damn good.
Alvarez up, swinging away. Two good hacks at some balls, but he's down 0-2 now. Big spot.
Chipper Jones was real young on that team.
He was young. That's the thing. Chipper was really good, but you got to remember, he was a really, really young kid. He wasn't into his own fully there. They had Andres Galarraga. He was a big one.
Yep. Jim Thome was in that World Series. Eddie Murray was in that World Series for the Indians.
Javi Lopez.
Steve Avery. What the hell?
Ron Gant.
I bet you somebody's already got it in the
Ryan Klesko.
Prime Time was on one of those. Yeah, Barry Sanders was on the team. I think. Was he on the team when they won the World Series?
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Ryan Klesko was a huge offensive power. I mean, he was there from 92 to 99.
Yeah, Klesko was a beast.
He was. But again, there you go. Justice, McGriff, Klesko. It wasn't like they threw those 3 pitchers out there and that was it. They had the offense, and it was just it was strategy.
Jeff
it was
Blauser.
Jeff
Blauser. Yes. Yep. One of my favorite all-time infielders to watch play.
Big pitch to Alvarez right here. 1-2. Outside. 2-2. Trying to get this count in his favor.
But yeah, they had some.
Alpha Rob throwing Ron Gant out there.
Klesko was a beast.
Yeah, Rock. Forgot about Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones, it's just interesting. You almost wonder if Chipper Jones was just a little bit older, a year or 2 older.
Marquise Grissom. He was a phenomenal offie. He was a jerk off the field though.
Buck. Chipper would field the ball, drop it, spit his shoe, drop it again, and still throw you out. Yeah,
he's not wrong. It's strike 3 to Yordan Alvarez goes swinging on a ball in the dirt. Braves get out of it. Still lead 5-0.
5-0 going into the 4th.
Yeah, top 4 here.
Hey, I'm going to take
Who was their closer? I can't remember.
I'm going to take a quick step away. I got my dog yapping outside. I'm going to let her in, so I'll be right back.
Feel free. So their closer that year was, I believe it was Mark Wohlers, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Mark Wohlers was the guy. Not 100% sure. Let me take a look here. Yes, Mark Wohlers was the closer that year. Kent Merker was another big guy that they used late in games. But Mark Wohlers was the closer. John Rocker didn't come till later. Buck, he was like early 2000s. That guy was an animal. John Rocker was an animal. But we're heading into the bottom of the fourth. We are going to go ahead and take a quick break. I'm going to take a quick step away as well. Grab another drink. So enjoy a quick man-hour commercial. We will be right back. And we are back. It's your boy Beastie Brandon Combs along with the Soup Boss. We are in game 1 of the World Series. We are in the top of the 4th inning as Jake Odorizzi is coming in. I forgot Jake Odorizzi was on this team.
Yeah,
this
so I was literally
for the Houston Astros.
I was literally just about to say, like, whoa, I totally forgot about this guy.
Jorge Soler leading it off. He's 1 for 2. He did lead off the game with a home run. So far, we have given away a Juan Soto bat. We have given away a Carlton Fisk jersey that Soup Boss is still probably trying to make trades for Giselle for.
I'm on the phone right now for it. Get me that
We've
Bitcoin
given away,
so I can trade it in.
We've given away a Nolan Ryan baseball, and we've got more to give away, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Check it out, as Odorizzi is 2-2 now on Soler. As Dusty with them gloves, man.
Those gloves.
They just crack me up.
they're slightly creepy.
Like he's about to do a prostate exam in the dugout. Like I don't understand what is going on. But we have the Braves are up 5-0 here in the top of the 4th. 2-2 is the count to Jorge Soler. Look, we've got a lot of stuff going on in the comments. Guys, thank you guys for joining us. We are a lot better to listen to than Joe Buck and whoever. Smoltz must be his sidekick for the night. I don't even know because I haven't been listening.
Big hack by Soler, second one in a row. He's up there aiming for the fence. He wants to add another one on there. Olivia?
Alpha Rob says Lemke was on the team too. Yeah, Lemke was on the team back then. I don't know if he was on the World Series team though. I don't think he was. I think he was gone by then.
So Rock says that his stream's a little bit behind us, and our stream was a little bit behind Buck. So if we keep going here, a couple of listeners are going to still be in the second inning if we keep this up. Giving away too much here. Not to change subjects on sports and everything like that real quick, but you see all the COVID players starting to go out and down for the Green Bay Packers. They got a game on Thursday. Big opportunity for they're playing the Cardinals, right? Arizona to just really put a lock on that NFC.
You know what, though? But
seed.
As a fan, doesn't that disappoint you?
It does.
Because I really wanted to see the Cardinals get tested. Because I'm a believer in the Cardinals. I've been a believer in the Cardinals since before the season, and I really wanted to see them get tested. As we have a full count here to Jorge Soler, Odorizzi with the pitch, fouls it off. But no, I'm a big believer in the Arizona Cardinals. Big believer in what they're doing. I love Kyler Murray. I love DeAndre Hopkins. I love that run game that they've got there with James Conner. And I really wanted to see them get tested. As much as I hate the Packers, I would love to see the Packers lose no matter how they lose. I would have rather have seen a good football game on a Thursday night.
Especially on a Thursday night where we talk about it all the time. Like they don't tend to end up being the greatest matchups, even though we've actually this year seen some pretty decent. Yep, Soler's up there hacking away and keeping himself alive. Already putting Odorizzi into 10 pitch at bat here, but we talked about the Thursday night games not being that great, even though we saw some like the Giants football team freaking game was a fantastic game. So we've seen some good ones, but we actually get on paper a great game. The Cardinals who are proving their worth, the Packers with Rodgers after that week one just
he strikes them out.
Great pitch. He went for that 2 pitches before, by the way. Catcher wanted it down and in for that. He came a little bit over the top middle of the plate. Soler fouled it off. 2 pitches later, go right back to it. This time he hits the spot and gets a strikeout. So
I don't know if these guys are out, but I mean, he's still got Alan Lazard. He's still got they went out and got Randall Cobb. He's still got Valdez Scantling. He's still got guys like that. They've still got weapons. Now I know that they're not the same as Devontae Adams. And he's
Alan Lazard got put on. That's why I brought it up about 4 hours ago. He got put on it. Yep. So I'm in here on some of these fantasy leagues picking up no name receivers. You might as well. Aaron Rodgers is going to throw to him.
Yeah.
So the Braves right
Freeman
now
gets one deep down
going
the line
to be a
foul.
But I'm already seeing a shift here. Now it's only the top of the 4th. I know that they're out hit the Astros. 8 hits to 2. They've got a 5-0 lead. They're feeling good and confident. But these 2 at bats are showing me the Braves are up there hacking away. And maybe they connect on some, but they're not coming center on the ball. And if they start hacking away, I watched it with my Sox.
Well, you're a good 9-pitch at bat or a good 10-pitch at bat from Soler there. I mean, he fouled away a couple pitches. He battled.
You did, but if you keep
but they're
away like this,
they're right there.
Hits.
That ball off the plate gets called for strike 3, and that
was a ball last inning.
You have to swing at pitches like that. You have to go up there.
It was the ball.
Because the umpire is altering the zone.
It was a ball last inning. He literally called that a ball. So Freeman's not swinging at it because it was a ball last inning.
Yeah, and that's probably exactly what Freeman's saying to him. When he gets called out there, because Freeman doesn't argue a whole lot, but when Freeman, and he's got a good eye at the plate, so when he stands up there, he's probably saying something like that to him. As we got Jonathan Briggs coming in, can we petition to have
JJ?
World Series games?
Huge baffled. The Astros had the ability to get out of the inning. We had a little dribbler up the first baseline, just bad timing, trying to get. I can't ever pronounce his
How much
name right.
does that ground ball up the middle that he beat out play into that right there?
That's exactly why. They wanted to get him because of speed. They knew he was flying up there, so they're trying to rush that. He wanted to be able to scoop and immediately toss it over. Just doesn't make a good play on it, and let's see what happens. They might be able to pad the lead now.
So by the way, Valdez can petition to have Don Orsillo call World Series games. I petitioned to have us call World Series games.
Yeah, that's
because
what we're
listening
here for,
to Joe Buck is atrocious. So just tune in here, Jonathan. You can listen to us call the games. You can listen to us. We're giving away merchandise. We've given away a Nolan Ryan baseball, a Juan Soto bat. I gave away a
used bat, a game
used
jersey. Bat, JJ.
Yeah, we've given
Don
away some good
Arcillo ain't
stuff.
going to give you crap except for good content. We're going to give you actual product.
So we've got a couple more things to give away tonight here in Game 1.
We got to keep Albias true over there on first base, by the way. Second straight in a row. Those have been absolute lightning throws to first base. They're trying to keep him an inch off of the plate. Like, those aren't just keeping him true. They're trying to literally throw him out.
Now, we are going to miss Game 2. We will not have a call for Game 2. I'll be on the road. I mean, unless Supas wants to do one on his own tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
I will. Yeah, I'll be on the road. I got to head to the Milwaukee shop tomorrow. So
I'll be driving back from Stillwater. I might be able to do it. Who knows? I don't have the stuff to give away and everything like that. So I
mean, you could still watch, and we could still give the fans something. And I might even be able to join in on my phone from the hotel room. I mean, I guess I could bring all my equipment with me.
You don't get all that special lighting.
I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens though when you get a hotel room and you start bringing in all this video camera equipment. I don't know.
I checked in real quick on one of them, and I was like, "Oh, Combs! Like, you need one of those TikTok lights right there. There's something messed up.
Man,
what's
can I
going
check
on,
into room
buddy?
303? I have an OnlyFans account.
They see you bringing in all the content. They think you're filming that thing I don't want to get us in trouble with, but some adult content going into a hotel.
So now we've got Austin Riley here as we get back on track. Got Austin
Look at
Riley
this.
here.
0-2 pitch, and they're still doing everything to make sure. Because if Riley can put a little blooper in the left center, Albias is going to go home. He's going to do everything to get home.
You'd still be better than Joe Buck.
Damn right.
There's lots of things you could do and still be better than Joe Buck. That's for sure.
The day that for some odd reason they put like a championship game of any level in which Chris Collinsworth and Joe Buck call a game together, I'm not even going to watch it. I'll watch ESPN Gamecast and just see play-by-play what the hell's happening. I couldn't even see their faces together. I swear they're long-lost brothers by the same group of inbred people in the middle of the woods in Pennsylvania or something. Like, no offense, our Pennsylvania fans. I'm not saying it. West Virginia. Even people in West Virginia think they're inbred. They both just drive me absolutely insane. But we were talking about it, Combs. How the heck John Smoltz made Joe Buck? I swear Joe Buck paid him like $100,000. Hey, can you just sound like a complete idiot to make people actually like me? I swear that's what he did.
And I really thought John Smoltz was going to be great on the mic. Because you listen to guys who've played the game, call the game, and other than maybe A-Rod, because A-Rod's atrocious too. But I listen to guys like Steve Stone all the time. And
big 3-2 pitch right here, by the way. With Albias is going to be going. He's taking off with 2 outs. Not to stop you, but this is a big pitch.
Let's see what Riley does here on 3-2 count.
He's going to pitch it.
Oh, got him.
Went
swinging
up there through the cheese. Hell of a pitch. That was I'm going to give you my best. Let's see what you got. Because if he makes contact with that, that's going out of the yard, and this game's over. So big pitch right there. And we get an ad for the Eternals. I can't wait.
But with Smoltz, I thought he was going to be more. Because like I said, I listen to guys like Steve Stone all the time on the White Sox broadcast. I think you don't like Steve Stone?
No. I'm saying John Smoltz. What we're talking about. Just horrible.
But former players like Steve Stone, you listen to guys like I've listened to Alan Trammell call games. I listen to also. That's my favorite thing about MLB. The season pass that I've got here, MLB TV, is that I get to listen to other teams' calls and other teams' broadcasts. And there are some really bad ones out there. Like the Tampa Bay Rays have a really boring broadcast. But some former players are really good. And then you got guys like John Smoltz who are just, brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal to listen to. And you're just like, guy, you could have so much more insight than what you have.
I'm telling you, he got paid by Joe Buck because I've heard John Smoltz talk before. There's no way he got hit with a stupid stick overnight. Like,
dude, I'm telling you right now, I would rather watch a WNBA preseason game than listen to John Smoltz call a game. I'm just telling you.
Poor WNBA. Listen,
look, I like the WNBA. I watched the WNBA finals. I really did.
Would you guys please just put the hoop at like 9 feet, 8.5 feet?
I know.
It would be amazing.
I know you're not defending them after the post that you made.
What the parade?
Soup.
That was just a joke.
He said
that
you
was
have
a joke.
The Chicago Sky had tens of fans at their parade,
which was a joke because when they got to their end route, there was tons of people there. It was a joke, but they got it. I mean, look. And I know those ladies, they're hell of athletes. That's super.
And there were a lot of people at that parade. And you know why there were a lot of people at that parade? Because there were a lot of people who wanted that Monday off of work. And they're like, well, why do you need time off? I'm going to the Sky Parade. Been a big fan. been a diehard fan. There's no way I'm missing this parade.
When the New England Revolution had the 1 year where they went to the championship for the MLS, all of a sudden everyone in New England became a huge Revolution fan.
Oh yeah,
and it was literally for that
parade
reason,
day.
So they could drink like crazy, have the next day off, and if they'd won it, it would have been the same thing. They would have gone to the parade and got drunk and just taken.
And
the
look,
next
I
day
don't
off.
hate on the WNBA. I don't hate on women's sports. Hell, the WNBA to me is more watchable right now than the NBA.
Oh yeah,
I would rather watch one of those games than an NBA game.
This guy with the mask on, whatever it is from that commercial.
But so I'm looking at
Jack in the Box
people are talking about. I forget what it was. I had one of our friends who is a sports fan, and she's also a big proponent of having. She's a big fan of having women get paid the same as men. And she said that the women athletes, the WNBA players, should be paid the same as NBA players. And I rebutted it like this. I said, okay, cool. You believe that, but I've seen you wear a Red Sox jersey. I've seen you wear a New England Patriots jersey. I've seen you wear a Boston Bruins jersey.
Where's your WNBA jersey?
Where's your WNBA jersey?
I say it all
you
the
don't
time.
have one. You how many WNBA games have you been to? Oh, none? Oh, so basically you want them to get paid more, but you're not doing anything to support the league. You're not doing anything to support the team. Like that's the difference between the WNBA and women's sports than it is with men's sports. It's just not the same draw.
It's not. And the Manning brothers had Sue Bird on, who's arguably the GOAT in terms of women's.
She was great last night, by the way.
She was amazing. She's an amazing athlete. She's an amazing personality. Has a lot of great information and insight on a lot of stuff. She's just overall an amazing athlete, but I've never seen a Sue Bird WNBA jersey. I've seen a college jersey.
Oh, what a play by Albies. That kid is so fun to watch play the infield.
They're so smooth.
Look,
they're so smooth like it's nothing.
If you're a baseball fan,
Albies gets the out, by the way,
to be a fan of guys like Ozzy Albies. It breaks my heart to be watching this World Series with the Braves in it and Ronald Acuna Jr. not to be in the lineup because he's hurt. It is so it breaks my heart because baseball, especially Rock here says, I never really paid attention to the Smoltz Call game because you're a casual baseball fan. The casual baseball fans who are watching the World Series are missing out on a chance to see Ronald Acuna, one of the game's brightest stars, play this game, and it's really hard.
Big swing
to not see him out there.
Does he stretch this for a double? There we go. Does. Man on second, one out,
and the ball gets away.
Ooh, got to go. Is he going to try it? Had an opportunity maybe to go to third. He would have definitely gotten thrown out. Smart by him to not take the chance, but good by him to keep his head up and realize if there was an opportunity there to go for it. But played it smart. Hey, you got your guy on second. This is the second or third time the Astros have had this. Here's
Justin
your opportunity.
Tucker,
you need one run.
Couldn't make field goals, so now he's hitting baseballs for the Houston Astros.
the greatest field goal kicker probably in the NFL. Yeah, he can't hit field goals. That was a terrible pun, Combs. Terrible pun. I say that because he's a Longhorn. That's all I've got.
And here's Yuli Gurriel now with 1 out and a runner on second, trying to
big at
get this
bat. You
goose
got a
egg off
lefty,
the board.
lefty on a righty right here too. Let's see what we have happen. Big swing could.
Ooh, he took a big
He
swing
was
too.
up there,
95,
looking to be able to take that pitch over the wall.
95
Again,
up in the zone too.
these hitters believe, and here's my problem. They believe that you're down by 5 runs, go hit that home run. Take that pitch right there and put it into right field. You're going to score a run. You're going to be at least on first base, maybe second. Stop trying to get it. You can't get it all back in one swing.
You've got a runner on second.
There you go.
You can't hit a 5-run home run.
Yep, that's what I was just going to say. You can't get them all, you can't get all 5 in a row. Now, if he had put that swing right there on the first pitch, he's probably slapping that into down the right field line. Fair, gets a run in and probably has a double, and you start a rally. You got to give your so much of the energy in baseball doesn't come from what just you do on the field, but that dugout. And you need those guys in the dugout right now to get up on that railing, pound on the screen, having a good time. You get the energy up, and you do that right now by getting this run across home plate and you sitting on second base with a big double. That's what he needs to do right now. But that's not what they're taught. They're taught to go for the big swing. Wow, check in on him back on second base with absolutely no fielder anywhere close.
That was I need a moment here.
Yeah, that was I can't figure out how I'm going to plant my foot the right way or something like that. So I need to reset myself. Now, Albius is kind of close on this one, but I don't think he was on the last one. Big pitch.
Oh,
there we go.
Base knock.
And down.
Yeah, runner had to hold, though.
Third had to hold, but that's okay. But you got
that's the problem with the short left field there, is that every pitch you have to hold on, because even line drives can be caught because it's such a short field. That's why I think there's a lot of doubles in Fenway Park that turn into singles, is because of that reason.
All the time. Or if your name's Stanton and you decide to just kind of waltz your way down to first baseline and don't decide to actually put some mustard into your run.
Yeah. So now you got runners on first and third.
Talk about a guy who just doesn't want to see that wall. He had some monster hits in that wild card game and just got screwed constantly. But you put yourself in a bad position when you started waltzing down. I didn't feel bad for him once, not just because he's a Yankee, but when he just
walked. Now you've got Chas McCormick who's hit 300 in the postseason up with runners on first and third.
Smarter hitter. Here we go.
You're trying to throw breaking balls here. Oh, as I say that, he throws a fastball up and in, gets him swinging. I mean, you're trying to keep the ball down.
What was McCormick trying to do right
play
there? But here's a smart hitter. Again, here is a smart hitter. And what does he do? Look at that hack. He's trying to put that thing. I get it. You've got a wiffle ball left field. Take advantage of it. People are going to say that. Take advantage of the fact that you've got a guy 90 feet away to get a run and to get your dugout energized. Like, stop trying to get all the runs back with one swing, even with that left field wall. McCormick's too smart of a guy to be doing this.
Ooh.
I wanted to hit him.
That pitch too.
Yeah. He wanted to see it coming down. Now, if they're smart, they're going to throw down and away. What we got from
Alpha Rob says that's the problem with baseball. You don't see guys like Ricky Henderson or Vince Coleman no more, guys who can get on base and steal bases. You do, because they do have that. You've got guys like Ozzie Albies who have a lot of speed. Ronald Acuna Jr. You've got guys like, there are a lot of guys with speed. Trey Turner, big names that have a lot of speed. Stolen bases.
Big
just
swing. Here we go.
Dansby Swanson boots the ball. Runner's going to go from first to third as well. It's now 5-1. Runner's still on first and third. Still 1 out. That is a huge error by Dansby Swanson. That was a double play ball.
And now it's a double play ball, but instead now you give that energy to the fans. You give it to the guys in the dugout.
Yeah.
Heads up play by what's-his-face, who's now on third. Saw the error and just kept running because he saw that the ball was getting away from. Gurriel, he just went for it. But that is a big error. Hit his hand before it hit the glove.
Didn't watch it into the glove.
Oh,
that's huge. He was trying to turn it too quick.
He wanted to transfer. We saw the error last inning for the Astros. We're trying to throw out Albies, and now we've got the same thing here. They wanted to end that inning on the double play.
And look, as an infielder, I've been an infielder my entire life. I got to tell you that sometimes when you're thinking double play, that gets into your head and you try to turn it before you have the ball, and that is it's a bad feeling. I remember,
and that hurts,
we
man. He's gonna wake up tomorrow. His hand is gonna be in pain.
I remember being in a tournament a couple years ago, and we were up by a lot of runs, and we were in the last inning. I think we were up by 8, and I went to go turn a double play, and I tried turning it before I had the ball, bobbled the ball, and then they ended up winning the game by 1. They came back, scored 7 runs after that, and won by 1. It's a horrible feeling. And Dansby Swanson's on a much bigger stage than a men's league softball tournament, so he feels bad right now.
And we saw it in the LCS where this Astros team, you give them that strike 3 that didn't get called, a bunch of other stuff, and all of a sudden they scored 6 runs. They got the crooked number twice. Game 4,
Drew here,
game 5 and 6.
With my point, you do have guys with steel bait, like Rosarena when he stole home in the ALDS.
Big swing right there.
That was a huge steal of home for Rosarena.
It was a huge steal. But what I'm going to back Alpha Rob on here is that he's not wrong, though. There are guys with speed, but because of what we've already talked about, though they will steal bases, the days of the Ricky Henderson was they were going to steal a base no matter how good the batter up at the plate was. Now they're told, use your speed, that when they make contact and hit the ball, you can go from first to home. It's not use your speed to steal bases. They steal them, but it's a different game. So Alpha Rob's point, I actually think is dead on. They're not using that speed the way they used to.
And Rock here comes up with a good question. He says, is our women's soccer team good because of skill or because women in other countries don't have the rights and resources our women do? That's a very good point.
It's a good point, except for the fact there are many countries in which they do have the rights. Europe being a big one, in which the game of football or soccer is life over there. So I get your point, and it is a great point, and I think it's a huge advantage for them to almost automatically get in late rounds.
Maybe against countries like Iran or
and Iran and things like that. They're dead on, yes, but France, England, like I've been over to England and France and the Netherlands and near Italy and near Spain. And
if anything, you would think
women's soccer
the French
is
women
huge.
You would think the French women have the advantage because who the hell wants to stand next to them with their hairy armpits? They don't shower.
Great. We just lost all of our French fans. I'm trying to kill our connection
we got
people
fans over
the
UK that just cut us off. There's no more tea and crumpets for us.
No, actually, the people in England, they have the little rivalry with France. They're probably they're like, "Oh, jolly good joke, sir." Big strikeout.
He gave her a good ribbing.
Give them silly French people their due. I went Australian
Drew
there all of a sudden.
And he says hairy chests.
Hairy chests. Hey man, I tell my kids all the time, eat your protein will put hair on your chest. Maybe it just works that way over there.
Here comes
French women can eat. They can.
Jose Altuve coming up in this spot. He's got one thing on his mind. You were talking about the home runs and just trying to hit the ball the other way. With 2 outs here, I'm okay with him swinging.
Well, now you're in a scenario that was before. This is now a scenario where with one swing of the bat with 2 outs, you make this a 1-run game, and he's just barely hit on 3 pitches that should have been home runs. He knows it.
Oh, he
was out there
and he
swinging.
popped it up to the pitcher.
Yep.
Oh, he got jammed. He was looking to tie or bringing it within 1, and instead he pops out to end the inning.
And there's the game of chess. There's the game of chess right there. They knew what we were saying. He was going to go up there, try to put that ball over the fence. They put it on his hands. Great call by the Braves to tie him up.
The French just canceled you, says
they did, Alpha Rob. They did, unfortunately.
They don't like you in France.
Ça c'est très bien. Je trace les
I would be good too. Look, with all of the stuff that they eat over, dude, I love Mexican food too. But you would think they'd be a lot faster.
What?
All them beans, all that gas power energy that they should have from all that food they eat, you would think they'd be faster.
Combs. At least France is across an ocean. Mexico, where I live, you probably have a third of the demographic of where I live that could be listening to us, that we could gain for the man hour. Come from Mexico. They probably make that joke though. Let's be honest. They're hilarious. They're hilarious.
Look, look. Trust me. I could eat Mexican food every day of the week. I love Mexican food, Spanish, right? Like the whole 9 yards.
You love the American version of Mexican food,
No,
just
no,
like Chinese
don't like
food.
I don't like the American version of Mexican food at all. I'm telling you, when I go, I'm very picky with my Mexican food. If it's not authentic Mexican food, I don't like it. My stepdad is Mexican, and so growing up with his sisters and stuff, and them making the authentic Mexican food, yes, I'm talking about freaking cooking your corn tortillas, not them little
Okay.
crunchy shells. I'm talking about yes, no, real Mexican. It's got to be authentic, and I love my Mexican food, man.
I tell you,
really
man,
do.
I was in Odessa, Texas, which is down West Texas, which is the middle of the oil area. It's Midland and Odessa, the only populated area out there. And we were told about a Mexican restaurant, true authentic. It was literally built in like an old abandoned gas station that was painted pink.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is this? And you went in and it was the most authentic Mexican food you will ever taste. And it was, we overstuffed ourselves and didn't give two craps that we couldn't walk out of that building. We had a crew of about 20 guys working in an oil field, and we just fed them silly till they were so happy. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's when people are like, I love Mexican food. I go to Taco Bell like once a week. Shut up, you dang fool.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you should have seen. So when I was up in New England,
change the score. Yeah. Houston.
When I was up in New England, and the first time that I went to make tacos, when I was with my ex-wife, and I grabbed the soft corn tortillas, and I started cooking them up, and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, making tacos. She's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Yes, the hell I am." And she's like, where's the shells? I said, "I'm making them right now."
That's the shell. That's what you're
and
making.
Ever since then, she was like, she fell in love with the tacos that I would make, because I don't do that, old El Paso out of a box, the 8-year-old crunchy shells that are,
now I don't care. I'll eat that stuff too. I love homemade, just American Mexican. I don't give two craps. I'll do soft tortillas.
If I'm gonna do the crunchy, then I am doing Taco Bell. I'm going with like one of the Dorito Crush,
man.
The Doritos shells.
Kills my stomach.
Dude, the
Del
chalupas
Taco
are so damn good.
Ooh, big pitch by Odorizzi after he threw a bad pitch. We're back into the game. Top of the fifth. 5-1 game.
Rosario up.
Rosario's up. Odorizzi comes back up after pitching about 20 pitches.
What do you say after this half inning? We do another giveaway.
Sounds good to me. Let's see if Drew can give another prize away to someone. Got it. Hit. Easy roller to second base.
Drew is disqualified. Out. Drew cannot answer. Drew, no giving away answers.
Hate Mexican candy. I like sweet.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. Love Mexican food. Hate Mexican candy. Yes, I agree. I don't. So they brought in, what was it called?
Drew says,
I don't know, the chicken stuff that it's supposed to be, and it came in and it was not good. I got a bunch of guys that I work with. They're Mexican, and they swear by this candy. They brought in a whole bag of it. They're like, "Oh, you got to try it. I'm like, "Yeah, not for me, guy." It's just not. Yeah, I did not care for it at all. So you got Adam Duvall up now.
Hey, I gave it away. I should be eligible again. I knew Drew was going to say that he should be eligible, seeing he gave his last one away.
You've already got 2 prizes. All right,
you got 2, and we should have cut him off before the last one. So he did a good thing there. Maybe we do something.
Yeah,
like give him an extra entry on the next game or something. I don't know.
All right, let me come up with a question here.
Well, he's coming up with the question. Well, Combs coming up with the question. Got top of the 5th, 2-1 pitch. Odorizzi trying to stay ahead of Duvall here. You don't want to get behind Duvall. As we've been talking about, he'll absolutely rip one. Takes a big cut. Just a little bit on the inside with the pitch there. Fouls it away. So Odorizzi gets a 2-2 count, more in his favor. That pitch was right in the strike zone too. So if he doesn't foul that away and just lets it go, he's going to have 2-2. So really good pitch by Odorizzi. But now that you've got him going inside, you almost think that he wants to play with that outside. Got to play with that down and away where the blue was calling it at first strike. Odorizzi can hit one about an inch down and away. Instead, he goes away. 94-mile-per-hour fastball, not even close to where the catcher was calling it. So, location. It's so huge in the game of baseball for pitchers. Every time you see someone hit a monster home run, usually it's because that pitch is in the wrong location. So that didn't hurt him, but you gotta, these are the things that coaches look for and why they probably pull pitchers a lot earlier in the games than they used to. And there it is. And 2 inches off the plate to the left, and Duvall is barking at the ref, calls him out for strike 3. You think, well, they're winning 5-1. This game, especially with the Astros, especially in this stadium, it does not take a lot to come back from 4 runs.
Yeah,
that right there is an opportunity to go up there and swing at a 3-2 pitch, and instead the exact same pitch and location, 1 mile per hour slower on the next one, and he calls it a ball.
And the reason why it's already
why we need an automated strike zone right there.
Yes. And the reason why it's a turning point game is now you had a 5-0 lead. You're on the road, and if Houston comes back and wins this game,
they're going to look at these calls.
That's a huge swing because they're back home again tomorrow night. And if they take that second game from you, that's 2 straight games that you're down. Now all of a sudden you're down 2-0, and you missed some plate appearances because of some missed calls by the umpire. That's tough.
Yep. Especially where you've got, and these are scenarios right now where Odorizzi is starting to miss some of his spots. He just did it on that last pitch. He's starting to get a little wild, where the Braves are thinking that they're going to go up there, continue to try to make him miss his mark, get that good pitch or work some walks in. A walk is a base hit, and instead he gets bailed out with just a horrible call. So the very next pitch gets called accurately.
Rock says, had my first authentic tamales last month. They are fire. Dude, tamales
so good.
Are fire. Liz actually made some last week when I was up in the Milwaukee office. She brought in a big tub, half chicken, half pork, homemade tamale. Oh my God. So damn good.
Here we go. Big 2-2 pitch.
Drew
calls
says,
him out. Right.
Drew really wants to win again. He says, seriously, give the BC shirt to someone else. I know you don't have my size.
If you're like a medium like me, Drew, they won't. If you're like an XL or 2XL, they'll have it. They don't have mediums. Big. Did you just see that last strike 3? Once again, gets another strikeout call, and that's that one we talked about earlier. Down and away, an inch or 2 off the plate. He gets the call. So 2 strikeouts, bail Odorizzi out for missing his mark. Again, if this ends up being a 6-5 game where Houston Astros come back, this is the 5th inning. This is where you really can start to bury a team, force them to go deeper into their bullpen. Instead, Odorizzi gets out. He only pitches about 12, 13 pitches that inning. He could come out for another inning and really start to stretch this out and help Dusty out in that bullpen. And instead, you could have worked some walks, maybe gotten a base hit, had him out there longer, forced him to change out. It changes the game. And people go, it really, you don't want to take away the human element of it. Why not? There are humans up there trying to play the game as well. This is not humans throwing to robots, and then you want the robotic calls. It's just as much of a human element for the guys up at the plate. And you're bailing out the Houston Astros right now with Odorizzi up there coming off the plate on some of these pitches, and you just gave him 2 strikeouts. There are 2 strikeouts in the game on pitches that shouldn't be strikes.
Give away another bat?
I agree, Rock. Yeah, let's give away a bat. Rock, I said it last inning. Don't go up there swinging for the fences. You should be hitting the ball, but still part of the strategy of going up there and being a good hitter, we talked about earlier in this game, like a Tony Gwynn, is you also know how to work the count. And when you're trying to not swing at a pitch that should be called a ball and gets called a ball on the very next pitch in the exact same location, and you're trying to work that count, that's part of being a hitter too. And it's getting taken out of their hands.
Yeah.
And he's literally called a pitch a strike, 1 mile per hour slower in the exact same location. He calls it the ball right after he rings up a guy for a strikeout. That's not fair. That's not fair. Just as much as you should be going up there getting hits, You should be able to go up there and work the pitch and make the pitcher up his pitch count.
Yeah.
Really should.
Yep.
Sorry, rant over.
No, you're good. All right, so we are going to give away another bat. I want you guys to try to do this without using Google. Using Google makes it too easy. So I'm taking you guys at your word. Drew, you are still alive for one more prize. So if you get it, you get it.
We should do some things that they can't use Google, like stuff about you, me, and Buck, about favorite players or things like that.
Okay. All right.
Just a suggestion. Make it interesting. Let's see if they can guess. Because even then, if we're giving away hints and stuff like that, if they can't get it for a little while, let's try to make this a little interesting.
We talked about this last week on the Man Hour, and we talked about my playoff predictions and how I've been right every round so far, and I've been right about my pre-playoff predictions. However, one of my preseason predictions is currently in the World Series, the Atlanta Braves. I picked another team from the American League to be in the World Series. Who was that team?
I really hope someone gets this. Ricky Bobby.
What team did I pick to represent the American League preseason in the World Series?
And to stop people from just going through and putting through all of the
Drew already got it.
Holy crap.
Drew watches the show every night. Drew was on there religiously. He is on there. That's why I was like, man,
hey,
if I go with
if you're watching this show and you're going, man, I'm never going to be able to beat Drew. Well, first off, we probably will cap him. So he got it.
He's capped now. This is his last prize.
But here's the thing. Drew is a huge fan of this show. He's on here every night. He's in the chat. He'll interact with everyone. Like, if there's someone that deserves it, Drew's the guy. Get on our shows. Interact. It's a ton of fun. It's not just sitting and staring at a screen and looking at two ugly guys, talk all night. There's a ton of interaction in the chat. When I'm not on the show and I have to be traveling or don't have the ability, I got kids, I'm in that chat engaging, and it is a ton of fun. Game used?
So this guy also is he's got a son who now is in the league. And this is Gary Matthews.
Ooh,
with the Sarge inscription as well. So Gary Matthews, who they called the Sarge, played for the San Diego Padres, played a little bit for the Chicago Cubs. I believe also played for the Los Angeles Angels.
Wow, Charlie Morton has just been reported he will miss the rest of the World Series with a fracture of his fibula.
Ooh.
So they didn't pull him because of strategy. They pulled him because that ball.
So when he got hit with that ball?
So we were saying how that was a lucky bounce for the Braves. It may be lucky in terms of this game, but that might have just been a huge unlucky bounce for the Braves in this World Series. He is out for the rest of the World Series with a fractured fibula.
Drew says, I'm done, I promise. Rock says, reward the man.
Yeah, reward him. Reward him.
So you got rewarded. You got a Gary Matthews bat and
Brantley goes up and swings and just pulls one foul down the first baseline on a 3-2 pitch.
Jesus. Brantley's one of those guys who is very underrated. And it's because he plays on the Houston Astros. And everybody talks about Correa and Altuve and Bregman, the big three. But Michael Brantley is one of the best players on this team.
He's just quiet. That's why. It's a Tim Duncan effect. When you are just humble and you're quiet in today's sports world, you don't get attention. But don't. Oh, big swing. Is that one coming close? Going into that weird little corner area. Oh, almost overran it in left field. Comes back, makes the catch. One out. Bottom of the fifth.
NLCS MVP plays a pretty damn good left field. Yep. That's a tough left field to play too, man.
Almost made a Kike Hernandez mistake right there, but ended up catching the ball. So, but no, to go back to him, man, it's just he doesn't get attention by the fans and stuff like that. But trust me, in the clubhouse, they know his value. Just like
So-
everyone knows those humble guys value.
Roxanne, you can catch me on. You can either PM me on Twitter. It's at manhour_Combs, or you can hit me up on Facebook. You could hit up the Man Hour Facebook page as well. You can let's see. You can also email me brandon.combs@manhourradio.com. So that's brandon.combs@manhourradio.com.
I just threw it in the chat for you. Pitch inside on Bregman almost hits him. 1-1 pitch.
Yeah.
Coming up.
And actually, here it is. Streamlabs throws it up for you. Says, are you looking to
There we
advertise with
go.
the Man Hour? Email brandon.combs@manhourradio.com.
Back to back. Had me in there, and then Streamlabs backing me up. So that's the way to do it. I didn't throw your Twitter handle in there, so maybe I should have done that. Ooh. Bregman takes a little check at the pitch, ends
Drew
up hitting the
says,
bat.
if nobody can answer your questions, though, let me know if it's okay for me to answer. Absolutely. I've got 2 more prizes that I could give away potentially, maybe 3.
I'm a little upset, JJ. Jonathan Briggs, you were here. You could be winning memorabilia. Jonathan Briggs he was actually a youth in the a youth group at church that I used to lead. Amazing kid.
Strike 3 called on Alex Bregman. That's a
pitch.
huge strike 3 call right there.
Huge strike 3.
This
but
is a
also
big inning for the
pitch.
Braves to get through too. I mean, you get through the heart of the order in the 5th inning.
And how about Minter coming in right now after Morton goes down? Now we know with an injury, 38 pitches in, and is just out here still looking strike 3 pitches. So, see, I think I knew that with Rock. He doesn't use Twitter or Facebook. That's why I went with the email option.
There you go.
I got you, Rock. I got you, buddy. Looks like they're going to start putting pitchers up in the bullpen.
Is this another Soup family member guy here, Roxon? Jonathan says, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still here. JJ, why haven't you answered any of these questions, big guy? I'm shocked. JJ,
Well, we
JJ's
did go
a
with the Man Hour
huge
question.
baseball nerd. He's a huge baseball nerd. He'll end up getting one of these prizes.
Right,
trust me.
I've got a good one coming up.
Alvarez is just so far out on his front foot. He's just trying to throw the bat at.
He's trying to kill the ball.
He's trying to kill the ball, and the Braves doing a heck of a job of throwing these balls way off the plate, and he's just trying to eat them alive, and he's getting eaten alive. It's really bad. Again, I wish I could have seen this last 3 games against the Sox, but so be it. Minter's starting to miss some pitches, though. Even though he had that great strikeout, he's starting to miss. So that's why they've got some action up in the bullpen now for the Braves. This will be his last inning. If he gives up a hit or 2 here, they'll pull him. If he gets out of this inning and gets this out here against Alvarez, I foresee him being done. So big 1-2 pitch coming up right here. Don't want to bring it inside. Alvarez will pull it very quickly. Very good lefty on lefty. 2 pitches in a row. Minter's missed his spot. They're going to end up pulling him probably after this at bat, as long as there's a pitcher up, getting warmed up fast enough. Drew, you want me to hit you up on Facebook? I will hit you up on Facebook under one condition. I'm assuming you've already liked Man Hour, but I'll make that A. You got to like Man Hour on Facebook, and B, you got to join Sports Soup and come be a part of that as well. But I will definitely get in here. Oh, big swing by Alvarez, but it's a pop-up. Popped it up.
3 outs. All right.
I'm already a friend with you on Facebook. You're doing a good job sharing stuff on. Look at this guy sharing Man Hour stuff.
We're going to give away one now, and then we'll give away another one in the bottom of the 7th inning during the 7th inning stretch, and that will be it for the giveaways tonight. So we are going to go. This is going to be another one where I give you, there's going to be a player, and you've got to name me that player. So this player played 18 years in Major League Baseball with 3 teams: the Atlanta Braves, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Colorado Rockies.
Ooh.
18 years in the league, Atlanta Braves, Philadelphia Phillies, and Colorado Rockies. If you can't name that player within the next, we'll give it, what do you say, 2 minutes here, Soup? We'll give it 2 minutes. If I don't get a winner within the next 2 minutes, I will go ahead and give you another clue.
There you go.
Drew already knows it, maybe. I think Drew will know. Drew and I have talked about this guy a couple of times. So, yeah. So 18 years in the league, Atlanta Braves, Philadelphia Phillies, and Colorado Rockies.
Hey, Rock, on your question, I got you, buddy. I'm going to look you up.
So,
let's see, JJ, come on, buddy.
Coming into the top of the 6th here, what are you looking for with the? What are you looking for from the Atlanta Braves? Do they need to start tacking on some runs here?
Yeah, if you really want to,
it is not away. David Justice, Rock.
Hey,
it is not David Justice.
Guess.
That's a good answer.
Good guess there, Rock. You got to get a run. You got to get one more run. We've seen it far too often with this Astros team. They've got a great home group as well, the crowd. And the way that, by the way, beautiful stadium. I know some people hate that short fence. I'm so glad they got rid of that hill with the flagpole in center field. But it's a gorgeous stadium. I used to do a lot of events there. And it's just built the right way where the noise just circles and goes on top of the field. It could really make it hard for away teams to keep their cool and confidence if you start giving them any reason to cheer. They got to shut that opportunity down, because if you leave this 4-run door open, the Astros are going to chip away, because you're going to bring in a new pitcher. Yes, he'll be more fresh, but Minter went out there, did what he needed to do. But a new pitcher going out there, and if the Astros batters can have a good eye on his stuff, and they just get 1 run, 2 runs, that crowd's going to get into it, and all the energy, even with them down by 2 runs, they get to 5-3. It's going to be so. Braves have to go up here right now, play smart ball, like Rock says.
Peterson.
Don't swing it. Don't swing for the fences. I know Peterson wants to. Peterson, go up here right now, hit the gap, get a double.
The problem with not swinging for the fences is he's got a chance to do something nobody's ever done before.
I know.
And we want to see it happen. Takes down. ball down, 1-0. So it's been 2 minutes. So the first part of it was this guy played for 18 years in the league with the Atlanta Braves, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Colorado Rockies. As Peterson pops up to right field, there's now 1 down in the top of the 6th. So the next one here is this same player throughout the course of his career had 2,111 hits and 398 career home runs. 2,111 hits and 398 career home runs. So 18 years in the league, Atlanta, Philly, and Colorado, 2,111 hits, 398 home runs. You got it yet, Soup?
I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I don't want to get in trouble for. This would be, if I threw a guess, I'd actually, get in trouble if it was right, as opposed to me just making a mention and you just losing your mind, even though it gave nothing away. Odorizzi still, and here's the thing with Atlanta, by the way, one out, top of the 6th. We just talked about it. Astros decide to throw Odorizzi back out here. Now, he's been doing good. He's kept them in check, but he started missing some pitches, and he got the benefit of the call by the ump on 2 strikeouts. And there's that pitch that he was going to call a strike, so he's up there swinging.
Not yet, Drew. Not yet. Drew wants to give him a clue. Not yet. I've already given him 2 clues.
Clues.
Kind of tough ones, but still.
JJ, come on, buddy. Where are you at, Mr. Briggs? Man, the rest of the soup needs to get on here. I know guys like Ben and Ryan, they'd be in here doing a ton.
2-2 count now to Dansby Swanson here with 1 out. Odorizzi still on the mound for Houston. He is logging innings like we expected him to when he came in the 4th.
40 pitches, and this is pretty good pitch count. When the very first batter he faced was 10 pitches, he's been able to get that down. Now he's gotten the benefit of 2 strikeout calls from Blue. Let's see how that works.
Jonathan Briggs says, I'm thinking.
3-2.
3-2. I'll give another clue after this at bat here.
Game 2 probables is showing Max Fried versus Jose Urquidy. 2 big pitchers, just above 3 for Atlanta side on an ERA and 3.5 for the Astros. So, but as we've seen these playoffs, you can be a Cy Young pitcher one game and then just absolute garbage the next game. So almost you take those stats and throw them out the window.
Swanson with
big
a swing. And a base hit.
Now base hit. Now see, okay. So that call on the outside has been so back and forth, and it's forcing the batters to go after it. But now you're seeing them. He had his front foot just coming out over the plate just a little bit. So what I think you're going to see is if this game if there's any type of chance by Houston to close the gap, you're going to see right-handed batters stick that front foot, come over towards the plate a little bit, and inside pitches, you're going to end up having someone get hit. It's going to hit their hand. It's going to do something. It's going to be interesting, but if Atlanta can put this run across the board, it helps give a little bit of relief.
Here we go now with another clue, and as it should, the third clue is might be the one that gives it away.
Clues.
It's appropriately maybe the easiest clue. So we've already given you that he played 18 seasons.
Come on, JJ.
Atlanta Braves, Philadelphia Phillies, and Colorado Rockies. He had 2,111 hits, 398 home runs. His nickname was the All-American Boy. His nickname was the All-American Boy. You know it, don't you, Soup?
Yeah, that's who I was thinking before the last time. So, but
as Dusty is coming out,
to yank Odorizzi? Yep, he's going to yank him after that. Well, you almost have to think because of the fact that the blue was giving him that call, and then they're coming up there and they're now finding it and being able to finally get the hit on it. But it looks like he's kind of talking to him like, is this what we're actually going to do?
Roxon says Kenny Lofton. It is not Kenny Lofton. That is a good guess, but Kenny Lofton also played for the Indians for a good chunk of his career, and that was not one of the 3 teams that we named.
I can give one more hint if we need to.
Yeah, I'll give it a couple more minutes, see what happens right before they come back from break. We'll give another clue here.
JJ.
So we've got
that
18 seasons.
Nickname
yeah,
should have been enough for you.
18 seasons with the Atlanta Braves, Philadelphia Phillies, Colorado Rockies, 2,111 hits, 398 home runs, and his nickname is the All-American Boy. And again, the easiest clue was the third clue, which might be a clue in itself. Just saying. Just saying. This is also one of my favorite players of all time. He's also the reason why I wear the number I do in every sport that I play. Yep.
Interesting.
Growing up, we had TBS, and that other than the Cubs games on WGN, you could only watch the Braves. We couldn't even watch the White Sox because they weren't on WGN back then. So you had TBS and WWOR, which showed the Mets, but nobody likes the stinking Mets. So, and the Braves were really good back then. So we would watch the Braves all the time, and this guy was just one of my favorite players to watch. I loved watching this guy play ball.
He was a guy that I saw. I don't think that's going to give it away at all, but it's just for me. He was a guy that when I saw him when I was young playing, he was the first guy I saw wearing that blue Braves hat. And that's why I got one when I was like a teenager and I saw one for sale at a sports store up in New England. I saw that and I thought of this guy right away. Remember seeing him wearing that. And I just thought it was, when you're a little kid, that's cool looking. And I got that hat because the game I watched with him in it, He had a hell of a game, made some great plays, I think, behind the plate, if I remember correctly. And he shifted to first base, I think, as well. So there you go. There's some more hints.
He was an outfielder.
Not just that, man. He played three positions.
Did he play behind the plate?
And first base.
Really?
Yes, sir.
See, there's a clue that I wouldn't have known that. I did not know that he was a 3-position player.
No,
that's rare for back then too.
Yeah, he was most known for the outfield, the position you gave, but he played behind the plate and first base. Yep.
Yep. All right. So you said, Soup, that you had one more clue. So we'll give you guys one more clue. And if nobody gets it, the prize will stay a prize for another game. As Rock says, save it for game 3. We will save it for game 3 if nobody gets this last clue that Soup Boss has. Soup Boss, what is your clue?
This player was one of the very first players to be known to win back-to-back MVP awards while also winning Silver Slugger awards and the Gold Glove Award 2 years in a row.
Ooh. That is a good one.
Come on, our baseball fans. He's not I know that this isn't like I'm going to give you, it's not Barry Bonds. It's not this guy that everyone knows, but man, it's a
well-known name. And if you're a baseball fan, you're going to kick yourself.
Yep. Rock, being a good sport by not Googling. Attaboy. Good for you. Good for you.
Rock says, we know Drew knows.
He said save it for game 3 because he knows he's going to get in the chat right at the beginning of the stream and just be like, hey, by the way, the answer is this. Big swing by Solar. Go down 1-2. Top of the 6. Getting back to the game real quick. We've got a new pitcher. Mattin's in. He's got a 1-2 count ahead of Solar right now. Solar up there trying to swing for the fences. Again,
that's all Soler does, though.
Yeah, that's all he does. And that's why they're throwing him that pitch. He makes contact, sure, it's going to be gone, but you're going to have more chances of striking him out like that. Go into what Rock here said on our on this. Go up there, just hit the ball. Great pitch by Matt.
That was a beautiful pitch to get him.
And you know what I love? Little things like what just happened for someone who played behind the plate for so long. Catcher throws back to the pitcher. What does he do? He turns right around and looks at first base, making sure that runner doesn't try to do anything stupid or weird or heck, take a shot, throw it right at first if they're lollygagging and take their head out of the game. Like, this is the World Series. You know, you want to play well, but don't let guys just try to pretend like they're walking all over you because they got a 5-1 lead, which I don't think the Braves are doing, but I love that he turned right around and looked at first base.
Yeah. Yep. Rock says, I want to say Wade Boggs, but I know he didn't play for Atlanta or Colorado or Philadelphia.
Or Philadelphia. Nope. Boston, New York, Tampa Bay, Wade Boggs. Yeah. Also, if you watch Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Link, they say that the worst smell in the world is a Boggs smell, which comes from one of his own chocolate bars they use as
Drew
a smell
says,
test.
I just want to give a clue.
Look, we got a big play going to left side. Safe. Great attempt there at short. Freeman doing what Stanton wouldn't have done, which is hustling down the first base line, getting himself safe. It's a big, big at bat right now. Now the Braves have a chance to really just kind of put the nail in this, take the confidence out of the wind of the Astros.
That's huge for a guy like Freddie Freeman to be hustling down the line like that too.
Absolutely.
That just shows how much this guy wants to. I don't know how you don't root for a guy
Rock,
like Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, who knows? People always love to hate success. That's what I've come to learn is if you're a good player in any sport, in any way, shape, or form, people are going to hate you for some reason.
All right. Drew
Rock
really wants to
Kirby
give a clue.
Puckett.
Kirby Puckett.
I love Kirby Puckett, but he played for one team, my man.
Yeah.
So the Twins.
Yep.
Great guess,
So-
though. You're looking at stats. You're looking at, we gave you clues about MVPs and Golden Gloves and Silver Sluggers and great players.
absolutely.
Like, great, and, you know,
Those are great
guess.
names, man. I love hearing
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite things, man. Is it just when I'm talking with friends who really know baseball, and I've got a few of them that really know the game. We just start throwing out old names, like guys that you just completely forgot about, like I did earlier with Jeff Blauser. You know what I mean? Like guys like that are
like Ruben Sierra, baby.
Yeah. My favorite trivia question of all time was one that I won a replica Cubs World Series ring because I stumped a guy, one of the radio hosts on the local radio show with it. They were having a trivia day, and I brought up the question: Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game, 1998. Who was his catcher?
Oh, got a base, not a base hit. Ball put into play. Albies gets out at first. So end up getting out of the jam there. Astros get to come back to the plate, bottom of the 6th, keeping that 4-run deficit. Didn't give any runs away, so they get a chance to kind of chip into it. Man, who caught Kerry Woods that day? I remember the game too.
That was such a good game. It was probably, and a lot of people will say this, it was probably the greatest game ever pitched.
Oh, I disagree with that 100%. 100%.
Really,
not even
I've
close.
heard baseball historians have said
No.
that is the greatest game has ever been pitched.
And I'm not even saying this because I'm a Red Sox fan, but
Ozzie Newsome, there's another name that
Ozzie Newsome.
Name.
Woo!
Great name.
Rock should be getting like bonus points or like opportunity for something different, or like a door prize for just coming out with some stellar names.
I've got a door prize for him here.
Ozzie Newsome, Kirby Puckett, not Googling. I'm believing him when he says he's not Googling, and he's coming out with these absolute barn burners. It's not Ozzie Newsome, but man, you pulling that name out, Rock. Good on you. I like it.
Let's see. What do I got here? I got so much crap. Rock, where are you from? Let me know where you're from, Rock. Maybe I got a side prize I can send you. Who's your teams? Who are you team fans of? It doesn't have to be baseball. It could be any sport.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite team? I have so much memorabilia that it's just
yeah.
He
does. I mean, look, he's giving away stuff that are still in boxes. Like he's just collecting. If I knew he had a signed Carlton Fisk jersey, I would have driven up to Chicago. I would have, the day I was in Chicago, only 20 minutes from you sitting in the airport, I would have missed my flight to go pick up that jersey and walked it home to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Was it was the catcher
Sandy? Yeah, you got the first name. Don't say Alomar.
No, don't do that. See, that's what the name, because you say Sandy. God, I know it.
Cincinnati Reds growing up, he said.
Yeah, that's why I know it. If I have, everyone has that second team. My second team, I had the black and red Cincinnati Reds hat. I loved it.
I don't have any Cincinnati Reds gear.
It's not Gutierrez.
Eric Davis was. Oh, there's another great name. Eric Davis. Yes. Yes.
Not Gutierrez.
Eric Davis is so fun to watch.
Was it Sandy Gutierrez?
Nope.
Sandy Martinez?
Yes.
Sandy Martinez. Would have taken me an extra guess, but.
Yes. And the guy could not get it. He couldn't remember because they had a few catchers back then, and their big catcher actually at the time was Joe Girardi.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So everybody leans at Joe Girardi, and it was not Joe Girardi.
So we've got a big situation right now in the game. To get back to the game just real quick, Combs.
Yep.
We've got Houston trying to chip away at this 5-1 lead. They've been able to
at the dish.
You got Correa at the dish, and you've got Jackson, who has just not been a good pitcher this postseason.
Barry
just not
Chris
good
Sabo.
for Atlanta.
Chris Sabo with the goggles.
Oh yeah.
Yes. See,
Barry Larkin.
But go ahead. You're saying big moment in the game. Carlos Correa. You got
Jackson. Jackson has just not had himself a good playoff.
No,
When I was
he's
looking
been
at
struggling all postseason.
when I've been looking at, everyone looks at who's going to have the big game, who's going to be MVP, everything. What I try to look for when I try to study before any major sporting event is who's going to be the challenge, that no matter what, they're on your roster and you're either going to do everything to avoid them or you're going to be forced to try to put them in a spot. And that for me, for the Atlanta Braves, when I looked up stuff, was Jackson.
Yeah.
He has just not been good. It's not just that he's gotten the few times the Braves have not been looking good in terms of offensive firepower from the other teams. They're showing that his percentage of hitting the mark in which his catcher has within a foot radius is abysmal low rate. He's all over the place. But he just got Correa
give one
out.
more clue, but you may go ahead and end everybody's suffering and give the answer, because that one is now closed. Go ahead and let everybody know. And if JJ, if you're still listening, you're gonna kick yourself that you didn't know this one.
JJ, I'm sure. I thought you would know this one, JJ.
So go ahead, Drew. Give everybody
your
the
time,
answer.
but I thought you would have known it.
One of the greatest players of all time.
Rock's going to just randomly throw another name out. He's going to say, screw it, Ken Griffey Jr. or something. Dale Murphy is accurate. Yes, Drew, it is Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy is the answer. It's a shame, too.
Hey, we got a base hit.
Dale Murphy was the prize as well.
Tucker comes off of Baltimore's kicking game and comes right in and gets another big hit for Houston. So King Tuck, as I like to call him in Houston, trying to get these Astros, get something going here.
Absolutely, Drew. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
There's zero reason. Here's God. Okay, I'm going to go on a rant. This is why, though I love the game of baseball, it's the whole mantra of the historical aspect, the Writers Association, all this bullcrap, unwritten rules. You don't swing on a 3-0 pitch, and I'm so bleeping sick of. Dale Murphy is, before even the time that we got social media and could bitch about this stuff, not being in the Hall of Fame is the biggest joke that the Writers Association kept him away from the Hall of Fame. I said it, got to chop her up to the middle. Albius gloves it well, gets you out at first. They got a guy in second. Dale Murphy, I said it, MVP back-to-back seasons, Golden Glove for those 2 seasons, plus I think 2 or 3 seasons after that, Silver Slugger for those 2 seasons, plus 2 more seasons. He did more in a 4-year span for the Braves than most players in the Hall of Fame, with no offense to their credentials, did in their career. It's a joke that Dale Murphy's not in the Hall of Fame, and the Writers Association should be ashamed of themselves, and they got to do something different about that element of voting, because it is straight garbage. The whole historical preservation, people having some issue with him.
The guy won 2 MVPs.
Back-to-back years.
He won, I believe it was 5 Gold Gloves, 4 Silver Sluggers. He was a 7-time All-Star. And I get that the numbers, like, look, the 3,000 is the magic number for hits, right? And 400 is the magic number for home runs.
I'm so tired of that crap.
He had 2,111 hits, and he had 398 home runs, 1,266 RBIs.
Alpha Rob saying Larry Walker was who he was thinking of. That would have been a good guess.
I think his career batting average is what got him. And I think that's what has held him back, was he's a career 265 hitter.
But that's my problem, is that they look at only the numbers, and you're trying to tell me that you're protecting the integrity and the historical aspect of the game, but they kept him out because of a number. They didn't actually see the whole portfolio that Dale Murphy had to realize that the average didn't speak to who he was. It's this whole thing that people right now are freaking out. Like, oh, look at all the interceptions Patrick Mahomes has thrown. If you know the game, you would see that 90% of the interceptions he's thrown are the fault of the wide receiver. You don't put that against him. That average against Dale Murphy is a joke. It's an absolute joke that's the reason they took him out.
McCormick strikes out to end the inning. Still 5-1 Atlanta.
Big
but
spot
I agree
there for
with
Jackson.
you,
after I was sitting there saying that, he was going to be a hard spot. It looked like he was missing real early, got Correa on a big looping pitch and gets out of that inning.
Yeah. And so you've got Jackson says that's why I fell away from baseball after the Pete Rose drama. So listen, I'm a baseball, I'm a nut about baseball. I love this game. I went to a baseball dinner. It was actually in Boston. And at that baseball dinner, Johnny Bench was there. Johnny Bench was a teammate of Pete Rose, and he'd come around to all the tables, talk. There were lots of former players that were there. The question I asked Johnny Bench when he came and sat at my table was, how do you feel about Pete Rose not being in the Hall of Fame? Because I was with Rock here. Like, for me at the time, I was like, it's stupid. What Pete Rose did on the field was different. But what Johnny Bench said to me that night changed the way that I thought about it. And what Johnny Bench said to me was, I love the man. He was a great, great baseball player, maybe one of the greatest hitters of all time. But he broke the one rule that is in every clubhouse all around the sport. And we all know it, and we all take it very seriously. And that was, you do not bet on the game of baseball.
But they also used to take it very seriously that you don't swing on a 3-0 pitch. Combs.
I'm
know
sorry.
That.
I'm
tired.
But this is different. Swinging on a 3-0 is different than betting on the games that you are involved in.
That's taking the word of an old time, as great as Johnny Bench. Hey, down here in Oklahoma, that's where he's from. He's got a statue. He's got streets and plazas and everything. This is one of the game's great. Yeah. Probably reset the trend of how catchers play. I get it. But you're still taking the word of an old-time baseball player and putting it in the reasoning of today. And that's exactly why we bitch and moan, rightfully so, at the old-time baseball coaches who say things to guys like Tatis, like, don't swing at a 3-0 pitch, and I'll make sure he knows why we don't do that anymore. He's
the only one that changed my mind about that, though, because I'm and you're talking to a guy who, for me, I have Barry Bonds at the top of my greatest of all time list.
Exactly. And are you telling me you don't think that he was taking?
Oh yeah, of course he was.
We all know it.
Who cares?
So he was all doing something that was illegal.
Who cares?
Who cares?
First of all, it wasn't illegal. They weren't testing for it. There was no rules on it in baseball. It wasn't illegal.
There was no rules that you couldn't take steroids in baseball?
No, they did not have testing for it, and there were no rules against it back then. The rule did not come until after the Balco testing. Or after the Balco scandal is when they started implementing the testing and all the rules against it.
I would completely challenge that any element of the drug policy of MLB includes things such as steroids. I completely disagree with you 100%. And I'm a guy that says, let them freaking steroid and juice up and have a blast. We all love that game. It fell within the drug policy, Combs. It wasn't that they changed the element because it was something
Rose
different.
Never bet
Not to mention,
team.
Not to mention, I've proven you wrong on Triple Shot Sports before, and I can't believe we're doing this again. 1991 is when MLB banned the use of steroids, not after the Barry Bonds home run scandal. 1991.
But they never tested for it until after the Balco.
It's against the rules.
Baseball knew about
Of course
steroids.
They did.
Baseball
That's why it's a joke they keep them out.
Billions with a B off of the steroid era. It is a completely different argument than the Pete Rose argument.
But it's against the rules to bet in the game, and it's against the rules at that time to be playing to be using steroids. And how can we as fans say it's the whole trash can?
As Austin Riley has a 2-2 count here in the top of the 7th against Matten, still in the game. But go ahead.
Matten's coming in trying to close this, keep the Braves down so that these bats can come alive for Houston. But how can we sit here? We talk about the whole element of Sox fans ripping on the Houston Astros trash can thing, but we're sitting here praising Cora as the coach, and he was a mastermind behind it. And I'm so tired of hearing about it. So it's the same thing. It's an illegal rule, but we all are like, Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. Though he was clear as day.
Because Barry Bonds was the greatest player of all time.
And Pete Rose was one of the greatest players of all time. This wasn't Ruben Sierra betting on the game, and that's my all-time favorite player. This was Pete Rose. Right. He was not a chump.
I get what you're saying. And I'm just saying that Johnny Bench sort of changed my opinion on that.
Johnny Bench was an old player. Great for the game. Changed the way. It's why my nickname Well, I was Yogi growing up. I played catcher so much. Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench's, Yogi Berra's, Carlton Fisk. They changed that position that it was a not just a fat guy sitting back there with a mask on trying to make sure the ball didn't get by. I get it, amazing player.
And this is where I differ with people is guys who say like Rock here, who
one
says
out
Sosa,
by the way.
Sosa and McGuire let those guys in. Here's why I disagree with that. Because you take the steroid era, that's fine. But take the power numbers away from a player. Are they still a Hall of Fame player? Barry Bonds, no doubter. Still a Hall of Fame baseball player. Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa.
Braves just got a hit. Rosario goes to left field. Going to be an easy double standing up.
Yeah.
One out, man on second. The big spot here for Atlanta. It seriously is. This is top of the seventh. And look what's happening. You're up by 4. He doesn't go up there trying to kill the ball. He puts it, pitches away. He puts it in left field. He's on second base. And what is his bench doing right now? They're up on that cage going crazy. That's what the Astros should be doing right now. And they're not. They're still trying to go up there and hack for the fences.
So going back to the steroid thing, Sosa and McGuire are not Hall of Fame players without the home run numbers. Sosa was a below average outfielder with a rocket for an arm that he couldn't control. And if he was not hitting home runs, he was not hitting. That was the thing that was different for me with and I'm a Cubs fan. I'm a diehard Cubs fan. I loved watching Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire during that chase. I love the fact that I didn't even care that I still don't care that they were on steroids. That chase brought back baseball from the dead. And for me, it was something that was just amazing to watch. It was still my favorite summer of all time of baseball, other than 2016 for obvious reasons. But it was still my favorite summer of baseball. And Bonds was just a different animal, man. Bonds by far.
Bonds was an animal before we could physically see that he was obviously taking steroids. That's the difference.
And the reason why he started taking steroids was because of McGuire and Sosa.
But I'm going to challenge you that Mark McGuire was also a hell of a hitter.
But Mark McGuire was always on roids.
Could play out.
Mark McGuire was on roids from his rookie year on because he was in the clubhouse with Jose Canseco.
But we don't have the proof on it. So either it goes back to the Rose thing with that. It's one of those things where the rule's the rule, and if you're going to let in one, let them all in. That's why I'm like, when people come sit here and try to put the asterisk bull crap on the Astros, every team cheats. Don't give me that crap.
Don't get me wrong. If they let Rose in, if they tomorrow decided, hey, Pete Rose is getting into the Hall of Fame, I'd be happy. Like I'm not against Pete Rose going into the Hall of Fame. I was just saying that Johnny Bench changed my viewpoint on it. That's all. I'd be happy with. Look, Pete Rose. He's Pete freaking Rose.
Wow. Hey, just to go back to the game real quick. 2-0 pitch here on Duvall. Matt throws an absolutely gorgeous pitch right on the corner that has been called a strike all night long on a 2-0 pitch. That would have been big to get it 2-1, and Blue calls it a ball.
That's why
that's going to be talked about. It's going to be talked about here. That spot is going to be an area of focus here in game 1, post-game stuff.
Yeah.
Now we got a 3-1 pitch.
That's why I'm mad at Bonds. That's why a lot of people were mad at Bonds, Rock, is because he didn't have to take the steroids to be that great. But he like a lot of people don't realize this guy was averaging 40+ home runs every single year while McGuire and Sosa were getting all of the limelight. And that's what caused Bonds to go and take the steroids.
And that's an element of his own ego. Bonds deserves to be in the Hall of Fame without a doubt. But his ego, by the way, was just a huge joke.
Yeah.
And we got a walk here, so we got
runners
first and second with one out.
Yeah.
I said it to you when he broke the record on the home run. I never realized it. We posted it on Sports Soup a couple months back. I think Zachariah did. And when he did that home run shot, I get the moment, and there's so much, but his family's right there, and his son's right there.
Yeah, and he doesn't even
acknowledge them. He acknowledges the fame from the fans, and that's why he did it, because McGuire and Sosa. I'm not saying that's not why he did it, but it just shows that sometimes even when you're so damn good, if you're not getting the attention for how good you are, these ego driven sports stars, sometimes they decide, well, hell with it, I'm gonna do what gives me the attention I deserve.
And not only that, like turning the tail end of his career, he was really starting to fall off as an outfielder. And he was playing for the San Francisco Giants, and you could visibly see his knees were giving out on him. He could not play the outfield the same way he could. And he was asked in a press conference, do you think about retiring? And he says, no, not until, and this is what kind of lost me a little bit on Bonds during the tail end of his career. He said, I'm going to keep playing until the top 2 home run hitters are black baseball players.
We've got pitch and change, by the way. Mattin's getting pulled out here, so Astros are going back to the bullpen.
It looked like Dusty was just doing a mound visit and then decided to pull him out.
Yeah.
But
probably talked to him and had something enough that said, okay, we're going to keep you, try to fresh for later on. So
when Bond said that, I was just like, you're hanging on for the wrong reasons. If you would have just said, look, I'm hanging on because I think I have a shot at the record, I have no problem with that. But then you made it a thing about race and the way you were hanging on. It just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. I still have Bonds as the greatest player of all time. He's still my favorite. But as a matter of fact, I've got an autographed Barry Bonds baseball sitting right over here over my shoulder. That, I mean, it's my prized possession. I mean, it's probably the most expensive thing in my house. But it is Barry Bonds. I love the guy, but it was just his ego and his thought process, and a lot of people don't realize like the reason why he was such a jerk to the media was because of the way Bobby, his dad, was treated by the media during his career. Bobby Bonds had a great baseball career, and then towards the tail end, I can't remember exactly what happened, but the media kind of turned on him and started writing some stuff about him, and he had a bad experience with the media towards the tail end of his career. And so the Bonds never wanted to deal with the media. He never wanted to go through what his dad went through. So he just rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
It rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And I remember hearing a lot of that, and I researched it, and I wasn't, active as a high-end understanding the way my adult brain is now. I don't know, man. I think that has just more to do with the ego standard that got passed down from his dad to him. I think they didn't like the way that they were written about in articles. You weren't doing as well. You weren't the same player you used to be. That's what reporters do. I mean, I sat here for 10 years and watched it about Tom Brady when he started to have, slower years, and we heard the whole Max Kellerman thing, but there was legitimate reporters in New England. That's when they drafted Jimmy Garoppolo. Is it time?
Kellerman's still waiting for him to fall off that cliff.
Yeah, he's still waiting. He finally, and now that they've booted him off the show, now he's admit that it's not going to happen, but too little too late. But still, I mean, I think that's just more of an ego-driven element when it comes to the media thing with Bonds. But I don't know. Just going back to the whole point of this conversation, I get that you had a guy that was in the clubhouse talk to you about it, but those are the same guys that are managing, like the La Russas, the teams right now that are still trying to manage the game based on a way that it used to be. Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah. And Stanek comes into the game. He's pitching to Travis d'Arnaud.
First and second, 1 out.
Yep, 1-0 count now on d'Arnaud as the first pitch misses inside. So we got some great baseball topics here. Rock says that's why I put Ken Griffey Jr. over Bonds because of his character. I don't put Griffey in the top 10 players of all time.
d'Arnaud just went up. He just tried to end this game. He's not the guy that d'Arnaud is not the guy that should be trying to end this game right now. d'Arnaud should be looking to try to just put a nice little gap base hit, maybe knock in a run.
Yeah.
Like that guy.
He just choked up a little bit on the bat too.
Yeah, now he's going to try to do a little bit different. I mean, that was a heater right down the middle. I guess if you think he can get one, go for it, but that's not what he should be up here doing right now.
Right.
And that swing was completely
different.
different.
It was a base hit swing.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. But no, I don't even put Ken Griffey in the top 10 though. Do you put Griffey in your top 10 of all time?
See, it's so hard because the element that people like to look at Griffey, and this is where the steroid era comes into play, is Griffey didn't take steroids. So what did we miss out of Griffey? Because he was on pace to shatter Hank Aaron's record too.
Yeah, but
clear as day.
And he was on pace, but he didn't.
But he didn't. But a lot of people make mention that when you could start to see Barry Bonds had the same pace, but Barry Bonds' pace was slower than Ken Griffey Jr.'s, and Barry Bonds was able to continue to play and do it longer. Pretty much when
Yeah.
you could tell he started to use steroids, which is an element that keeps you. It's not
But
people
see,
that look at
I'm not a believer
steroids.
that
People that look at steroids as an element of that's why he hit the ball so hard. That's not the whole aspect of steroids. That
I
wasn't
am
the
not
point.
a believer
Steroids
that Griffey
is
did
about
not use.
Yeah, no, you and I won't agree
I
with that. No
see,
way. No.
and
If
here's the
Ken
reason.
Griffey
So,
Jr. used, he wouldn't have become a chubby guy.
well,
He
that's when he
got
became chubby, though.
injured.
Was as soon as the Balco stuff came and they started testing, he put on a ton of weight.
No, he put on a ton of weight when he
See,
started getting hurt, and
I
then
don't
he
know.
wasn't coming back.
I'm a big believer. I believe Ken Griffey or Cal Ripken Jr. was using too. There's no way you don't play all those games in a row without something to help you through the aches and pains. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I just think it was a level playing field. I think everybody was using back then. I mean, probably not everybody, but the vast majority of players, I believe, were using
steroids. Physically does something to your body. Not only what we can obviously see on the field with clothes on, but when you don't have clothes on, and when you talk to players who talk about the guys of the times like the Griffey Juniors, the Cal Ripkins, not to get us banned on YouTube,
you use them in moderation,
though. There was a head change here, and there was a head change here, and people could tell. And it wasn't even Bonds and McGuire and Sosa, by the way. It was Mr. Bagwell who really started to show in the locker rooms that steroid use was a big part. We didn't see that going on with guys like.
That's a ground ball. They're going to turn
double play
the inning. Oh, he beats it
out.
Oh,
another beat out play.
That's gonna be a review right there. That was a close play.
You
at
got
first base.
You got it right now. If you're Dusty, you've got to review it. They're calling for. Are they calling the Dusty? Wait a minute. They're calling over to third. Is that where the review area is? They're saying go ahead and review it.
Oh, he's out.
That's out. That's an out. That's an out. Dusty's got to make that call.
First. What did the runner do there? Why are they pointing at third?
Yeah, is that where they make the replay call?
You have to use your challenge here, right? I mean,
no, you got to. You got to. You're down by 4 runs. You got a couple innings left. You're still at home. Just get your team back up to the plate. You have to do this right here. Yep. Yeah. And that's what I think they're doing. Because see, that's over by the Braves, which is on the third base. I think they're pointing over there saying, go review it. Go review it. And they're going to Altuve's running off the field. So even though they haven't made the call,
I would too.
They all
know. Darno might as well leave the field and go put the catcher's gear back on.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're out. Yeah.
Yep.
That was a quick review, quick call.
And which, by the way,
going into the 8th inning now, still 5-1 Atlanta Braves.
Going into the 8th inning with that, but just to go on your whole point right there about how quick the call is, that's why I think you make everything reviewable and you give the coaches 2 to 3 review opportunities to challenge plays, because one thing MLB has over all the other sports is that they get the reviews done fast. Very like the first year they did it, there were some hiccups, and I remember some long ones, but they get it. They get the headphones on. They hear from New York. Done. This is the call, and make the call, and that's it, and it's over.
And, this is one of the things that I love about the game, right? So I'm like, all right, we're going into the 8th inning. I'm like, you and I have been sitting here talking, having fun. We're giving away prizes, talking with the listeners. We're talking baseball. I didn't even realize that we've already been on the freaking mic for 3.5 hours.
I didn't notice. My back is sweating like it was already 10:18.
Yeah, ugh. I've got to be up in less than 6 hours.
Yeah,
for work.
Rock, not Nolan Ryan. Yeah, so do I. I need to get to the gym, and then I'm going to be on the road for an hour and 40 minutes each way as well tomorrow. Yeah, half of the 93 Phillies used roids, according to Alpha Rob.
Well, I mean that's probably not wrong. I mean, you had guys like they had what's his name there, Spike. God, he was another one of my favorite players to watch growing up. Nails, not Spike, Nails. Oh God, what the hell was his name?
I'm not
war number 4. You're
big on the guys that wore number 4 that you can't remember tonight.
I know. God, why can't I think of his name?
Hey, by the way, we brought it up as a trivia question. And I'm getting blasted on
Lenny,
some
yes, Lenny
notifications.
Dykstra.
Lenny Dykstra. Oh, yeah,
Yes,
that's
there's
right.
a name for you.
Random thing here, Combs, that we brought up Triple Shot Sports as a little
Trivia
trivia
Yeah.
question, and we've now all of a sudden tonight got 3 views on Facebook. That old page that's still up.
You know what's funny is that I from time to time I'll get, hey, you had 2 new views on Triple Shot Sports. I'm like, damn, we haven't posted anything in over a year.
Yeah, no, yeah, we just
Cool.
got 3 new views tonight.
Yeah, I like it.
Probably one is your girl. Like, crap, I'm in a lot of trouble. I better go back and study everything they used to do before I get myself in trouble again.
Some of it might be from the listeners here. They're like, oh, the answer was Triple Shot Sports. Let's go check that out.
Yeah. Hey, I got a quick question for you. I'm sitting here watching the commercials here, and I don't know if it's the same as everyone else because I'm on YouTube TV, MLB Shop, and it made me think of something. I remember when in the late 90s and early 2000s when a lot of my Boston teams started getting in, it was a big thing to be like, get each round the playoff clothing and everything like that. And I remember we would just sit there and would just collect dust, and it was like, well, I'm not going to wear the ALDS shirts. They still sell that stuff for playoffs. Is this something that people still really get? Do people still spend their money on just that my team made the playoffs, my team made this round, like memorabilia? I only would do it now if it's the championship.
If you were going to the game
or
something?
Well, maybe, but even if I go to the game, I'm going to wear regular stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'd only buy the clothing now if it's the actual won the championship. Am I wrong?
No. So I never bought any Cubs playoff stuff until they won the World Series. And then that year in 2016, I bought the World Series hat. I bought the World Series champion shirt. And then I bought every round from that year, and I bought that gear and brought it in just so I had memorabilia from each round.
Braves, Castro lines out to first base. Jackson's still out there, by the way, for Atlanta. He's going out there. He's gotten 4 outs. He's had a miserable postseason.
Only 13 pitches.
Yep, 13 pitches, and this is good confidence boost for him after a terrible postseason so far.
Yeah, for sure. And they've still got a couple guys out there lurking that could really huck the ball. So
I just
the
think
Braves are in good shape right here.
I just remember a lot of times when the Patriots would go to the Super Bowl. I loved when they'd hand like Belichick the AFC Championship trophy, and he'd be like, "I get this." That's not what's important. That's what I think of playoff gear, and I guess I might just be kind of like a negative.
Well, because then just when you have
I don't give two. What
if
you
your
don't
team
win the
gets knocked
championship?
out and you had an ALCS shirt from this year, would you wear it still?
Who gives a crap?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you don't even get to.
That's like that meme with those kids over in Africa, right?
Yeah, with the losing.
Like our shirts will be here next week. Yeah, that's how it was, man.
Yeah, I don't.
Alpha
get that.
Rob. I love the '89 Cubs team, man. That was such a disappointing end of the season. Well, we got swept by the San Francisco Giants in the NLCS, and yes, back then the NLCS was only a 5-game series. We lost that 3-0. And Will Clark, as I love Will Clark, but he broke my heart in that series. I'll never forget it. The Cubs had a chance to win Game 3, and Ryan Sandberg, guy whose jersey I'm wearing, the guy who my 6-year-old son is named after, grounded into a double play to end the season. And I cried and cried. I was 8 years old, and I cried for probably about 6 hours. Cried myself to sleep that night. Yeah, that was that one broke
you
my
cried.
heart.
I learned just how to curse way too early in my life, like a bunch of fucking bums.
Yeah. No, I cried. Look, man,
Altuve, by the way, up in a big spot, 2-2 pitch. And for the first time we get to see Smoltz and Joe Buck. Thank God I got to see these two yahoos.
Yeah. Good. You know why I like seeing them right here? Because the volume's off on my TV.
Yeah, you get to listen to us, and we're dropping in and out about the game and other stuff.
Yeah.
We got a big 3-2. Jackson's starting to miss his spots. Here we go. Altuve with a big chance here to start a rally.
The time's coming up where my
World Series are interrupted by the earthquake. I remember
that.
Like
and if the Cubs would have won that damn series, the earthquake would have never interrupted the World Series. If the Cubs would have beat the Giants, that game would have been in Chicago. and not in San Francisco.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Altuve up there swinging. Jackson put a great pitch on 3-2. That would have been a strike 3 if Altuve's so far ahead on these pitches all night. That's probably the 5th pitch that he's seen that I've seen him drill a home run over that wall. He's so far out in front of these pitches.
Why are you swinging so hard? You are down by 4 runs. You need base runners, home runs.
That's all Altuve knows, though. That's all he knows.
And he does it again, and now he strikes out on a pitch low in the zone that he couldn't handle, trying to take out of the park. But had you been trying to go the other way or try to go back up the middle, you might have been able to handle the pitch. That's what drives me nuts about the new school mentality of launch angle and all this other stuff.
If he chokes up the bat right there and just tries to slap that's going to right center field. That's going to the right field. He's on base.
Get yourself on base. Maybe the guy behind you gets on base, and the guy behind. And now all of a sudden, instead of you trying to hit a solo home run, you've got Yordan Alvarez up with the bases loaded and a chance to tie the game. Like that's it drives me insane.
And now you've got a guy that I talked about who was probably my biggest red flag for the Braves, walking off the field, getting 5 huge outs, and obviously had some friends or family in the stand, walking off with a big smile on his face, pumping his fist. Like you lost your starting pitcher the rest of the World Series, but you gave a guy who was just getting demolished in the playoffs now a ton of confidence. That's a guy that can come in and throw a solid 2-3 innings later in the series.
This is where I said the Braves have the advantage is in the bullpen. The Braves have a much deeper, much stronger bullpen than the Astros.
Well, we were going to know that no matter what. Either NLDS team, NLCS team, whether it was the Dodgers or the Braves, were going to have a better bullpen than either the Sox or the Astros. We knew that coming into this. But that's why, to your point on that, the Astros should be going up here and trying to just grind together base hits and stop trying to hit the ball out of the park, even though it's a home run hitter park. I get it. But it's also got some weird nooks and crannies like Fenway. I talked about it. How use the field to your advantage. Put that thing in that weird nook and cranny left field area. Get a double out of it that they slip up and you can get to third, or you can extend that guy from first to home. Like, play the field. Play the field. Hit the ball. Stop trying to crank these home runs. It's ridiculous.
And that's, it's just one of those things where, to me, the old school mentality would still be good in the game if you added it in and mixed it in with some of the new school mentality. So
JJ, to go back to the championship stuff, he says, I only get the CH clincher and World Series clincher stuff. And then he put early morning merch pickup trips with me, Chad, for Olympia Sports. We used to, when Boston went on their winning ways for all the sports teams, we used to literally, like, when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, I celebrated like crazy, and then we got in a car and we drove out to Boston, and the plane literally, because they could not leave where they were coming from with the merchandise so they know who won. We'd watch the planes land in the airstrip area, come off, go to trucks, and then we'd go up and we'd inventory real quick, and we'd just throw all this crap in the back of cars. I'd bring someone like JJ or someone else with me, and we just drive through all the stores and be like, hundreds of people. We'd be like, you got a whole whopping 20 shirts. Have fun telling the other 980 people that they got to wait to the next shipment to come in. So it was a lot of fun. A ton of stuff that we used to do there. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's one as Alpha Rob says, a wild thing drove me crazy with the Cubs and Philly. Yeah, going back to that. Look, I was 8 years old. And I cried. And then in 2016, I was 36 years old, and I cried again. Like, we're getting to that point. We're coming to the point where it's almost November. I'm going to have the Facebook memory come up of the video of the final out and me just dropping to the floor in my living room, crying. Yeah. It was,
man, when the Sox won in 2004, I was running the streets of Manchester, New Hampshire, or Manch Vegas, as we call it, just celebrating with a bunch of drunk idiots.
You know what's funny about that one is when they fell down,
sober myself up to drive.
When they fell down to the Yankees that year, 3-0, all of my I got it as a Cubs fan, but all of the Red Sox fans, they were like, "Oh, they're doing it to us again. You don't understand." I'm like, guys. That year they won the first 9 games, I believe, off of the Yankees that season. I said
You've
won
said that,
3
you've
in a
said
row
this.
before.
No,
And
no.
I
You've
said to
said
calm
this,
down.
You've said this before, and it's just going to be like the steroid thing. I'm going to repeat it again. The Red Sox had not won the first 9 against the Yankees. They were not the better team than the Yankees that year. Right up to the game in early August in which A-Rod Veritek punched A-Rod in the face. They hadn't even been ahead of the Yankees that year. I get that people say the Red Sox were the better team, and I think that's the truth, but they didn't have a better record, or they did not have this 9 straight win against the Yankee. Like, I don't get where that verbiage comes from. By the way, big hit right here. We got Matzek came in, and we've got upset field hit, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, trying once again Astros. It feels like they just get this one hit every inning. Of course, it's Brantley who goes up just humbly, just goes up and does what all his other hitters in his lineup should be doing. Just go put the barrel on the ball, get it into the field of play, get on base, do something with this here. Bregman, big spot right now. If you do something, you got to do it here. Goes up first pitch, swinging, fouls it off. Strike 1. And while you're looking that up, by the way, you just got to remember, we went back to
it wasn't the first
03 in which the Yankees also broke the hearts of Sox.
It wasn't the first
time, it wasn't like just overnight that this happened.
The first 4-game series happened in April of 2004. The Red Sox won that series 3-1. Then they played in New York, April 23rd to April 25th. The Red Sox won that series. They won. So right there, they're up already 6-1 on the Yankees in that season series. And then I'm going to look at the rest of the season, try to find when they play the Yankees again. Then they got swept in New York in June.
The Sox did.
Yeah, the Sox did.
Yeah. And
but then the Sox won 2 out of 3.
And then they
won the
Sox
division. Won 2 out of 3 in July against the Yankees.
I know, but like I told you, you say it every time that they swept them the first 9. They'd sweep them the first 9. It was like a 6-4 record. Yeah, they had the better record against the Yankees, but they also
the
were
first
second
7.
in the
The first 7 they were 6-1. Sorry, the first 7 they were 6-1.
They were 6-4 in the first 10. If you're going to bring up 9, bring up 10, and they were 6-4. So they had, yes, a better record. It wasn't this 9 straight. They were dominating the Yankees.
They had still beat the Yankees. They won the season series versus the Yankees that year.
03, the Yankees break their heart. Oh, huge strikeout. Matzek
is so nasty.
That
Matzek
pitch
is filthy.
People are going to look at that and go, why aren't you swinging at that pitch? That is a absolutely disgusting pitch, because it looks like it's just going to want to go up there and just float and stay eye level. It really does. It is so hard to hit that pitch. Even if as a right
that ended the Brewers season.
Yep, it was. Man, all right. Every time we talk about how the Astros are going to string something together, I just feel like they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. And, I mean, you and I said it. Yeah. We predicted the Braves would win Game 1. But I think there's an element here of the Braves winning Game 1 and the Astros completely losing Game 1 at the same time. Like, the Braves went out there hitting early, but they've held the lead. But part of the reason they've held the lead is that Houston has just come out. They're either trying to swing for the fences when they shouldn't be, or they're just outside of one of their batters. They're just not putting contact and just trying to get on base. You also have the aspect of the umpire behind the plate with a couple strikeout calls there against the Astros. I mean, you can't come out and play this way Game 2 tomorrow night. There's no way. If you play this way in Game 2, and I know that sounds dumb, but even if you shut the Braves down in Game 2, you're still not going to come out the winner if you play this way. The only reason you have a run right now is because of an error. That's it.
Yeah.
Not a good game so far. But I've watched them in the 9th inning jack up 6 runs on the Sox. So this game isn't over. But I just don't see it right now. I don't see the same Astros team. Correction. I see the same Astros team in Game 2 and half of Game 1 that I saw against the Red Sox down in Houston. So it's kind of interesting. We're almost following the same pattern here.
Yeah.
Geez, 10:30 Combs. Are there people still with us?
There are. We've got right now. So StreamYard hasn't been good with the numbers lately. We have, according to StreamYard, we have 8 people watching, but according to YouTube, we have 7, and according to Facebook, we have 12 right
Okay.
now. So
Okay.
we've still got quite a few people
Good. Hey,
chiming in.
I love it. Hey, game 3, we'll be back at it again. More people get prepared.
Yeah.
Try to win some memorabilia before Drew has a chance. I'm just going to call Drew the encyclopedia. Just contact the ball. Yeah, Rock. They just got, that's it. I mean, I think if they walk away losing this game 5-1, I think Dusty's message is very clear. Stop trying to hit the home runs. Go out and hit the home runs when we have the lead and we want to put the nail in the coffin. Just go contact the ball. And you've got what's his face is the only guy that's consistently tonight hitting for the Astros, and that's because that's all he's doing. He's just contact, putting it where he needs to, getting a single, getting a double.
All right, come on, Jock, make history right here.
You're big on this. You really want this to happen.
Oh my God, so much. At least at some point in this series, even if it doesn't happen tonight, I really want Jock to do this. I mean, it's history. I mean, who doesn't want to be a part of history?
They already got one history tonight. Let the history be game 2 or something. They got their 3 innings, first 3 innings score.
But I mean, it's a really cool stat. I mean,
is.
That'll be a trivia question we can use
trivia
next
question.
year.
Yep.
Who is the only player to hit a home run versus the same team with 2 different teams in a World Series?
Which again, with all the history of this game and the amount of guys that you've seen play multiple World Series with different teams, it blows me away that this would be the first time. I'm sure there's been opportunities for other guys to do it, but it just blows me away. Like the fact that the Braves became the first ever team to score a run in the first 3 innings of a World Series in the history of Major League Baseball. It's mind-boggling to me.
So Drew wants to know what was that thing I found out about the Astros, their hitting percentage. Okay, so I don't know if you heard me talk about this one, Soup, but there was
big play
in the White Sox series. The White Sox had a reliever.
Altuve just makes a huge play, keeping the Braves from trying to tack on some more runners. Good play by Altuve, much needed for the Astros to try to stay in this game.
And Jock Peterson isn't slow running down that line though either. That's a really good play.
He's not pulling a stand. Can I say that about for the 6th time tonight?
Yeah, that's a tough play, especially in the grass for an outfielder or for an
infielder, not only that, think about the fact that Altuve threw a ball that was an absolute missile and had the runner beat him out. So that's in his head that he's got to get in there and really make a great play. So good for him.
So going back to Drew's question, so the Astros, they're one of the White Sox relievers, I can't remember who it was, had said that there's a difference between them home and on the road. Just check their swings and misses. So I did.
Oh, I've heard this.
And the Astros actually had over 400 more swings and misses on the road this year than they did at home. And when they talked about it on MLB Network, they said, well, they averaged 6 more, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Well, when you average 6 more over the course of 106, we'll say over 82 games because you only play 81 road games. That's a big difference. It's 400 more swings and misses on the road.
I heard you talk about this, and the sample size that I'm questioning is it's only on the Astros. Have we verified the other 31 MLB teams to see?
No, I haven't looked to see if they're. That's an interesting one too. I'm gonna look.
I would check a lot of other teams just to see because that I think it's something to look at if no other team is even close. But if there's a couple teams that have the same kind of situation, either there's nothing to it, or you're knowing that other teams are also cheating. Guess what? Other teams are cheating.
There's no way that the Astros were the only team in the league doing this in 2017. There's no way.
There were a ton.
And if you believe the Astros were the only team doing it, then you're not being honest with yourself. I like to mess around with the Astros. I don't like the Astros, so to me it was okay, like, because I'm okay with calling them cheaters because I just don't like the Astros. I've never liked the Astros, but that's one of those things where I was all right with calling them cheaters, but they weren't the only ones cheating that year.
I was in a little league baseball. Little league. We were going